great Corey Comparatori. And sending our support, our respect, our love to the Comparatori family here with us today. We love you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for loving this country, and thank you for not giving up on it.
This is the same place where he got shot at, Pennsylvania, October 5th, 2024.
After the heartache of that day, our nation hoped to turn a page. We hoped that our opponents would remember that before we are Democrats or before we are Republicans, we are Americans.
They forget that part.
But sadly, our opponents have not heeded Abraham Lincoln's words and listened to the better angels of our nature. Even after that terrible assassination attempt that took one man's life and nearly took many others, they continue to use dangerous, inflammatory rhetoric. The media has continued to call Donald Trump, the guy who actually won his primary, a threat to democracy. A Democrat senator called Donald Trump an existential threat to our democracy.
This one's going to turn up. There's 100,000 people just in one chat.
Foundations of our democracy. And I think you all will join me in saying to Kamala Harris, how dare you talk about threats to democracy? Donald Trump took a bullet for democracy. What the hell have you done? The truth is that Kamala Harris and her allies, they attack Donald Trump in order to silence us, we the people.
This is live, y'all.
They have declared war.
Went to the same place where he got shot at, said, fuck y'all.
It's constitution.
Try again, dead nigga.
Kamala Harris proudly says she wants to censor the internet. And Tim Walz said there is no guarantee to free speech. What do we think about that?
That they say we take as free speech.
But we all know, my friends, we all know that censorship is only the first step. Just look at everything they've done to President Trump. First, they tried to silence him. When that didn't work, they tried to bankrupt him. When that didn't work, they tried to jail him. And with all the hatred they have spewed at President Trump, it was only
$6.5 billion.
But he tried to kill him. And that Trump, it was only a matter of time before somebody tried to kill him. And that's exactly what happened, not just here. And
this is live. Share this video out, y'all. Double tap the screen or go to the top right, hit the 3 dots, and get your vote on.
While these guys still go out there and attacking him as a threat to democracy, another gunman armed with an AK-47 style rifle tried to finish the job.
I'll kill him again.
In fact,
with a chopper.
Before the gunman in Florida tried to kill Donald Trump, he wrote, quote, democracy is on the ballot. The exact same words that Kamala Harris wrote after accusing Trump of being a dictator only days before the first attempt on his life.
Wow.
But for all of those watching at home, and for all those who might be undecided in this crowd, though there probably aren't that many undecided voters in this crowd,
I just put Hillary because, you know, Tulsi's on our side now. I mean, I could put Candace Owens, but she's on our side too. And I got a fire-ass video. Candace Owens is back on bullshit, y'all. She got her channel back, and now it's up.
What's so incredible, it's
Xavier, salute, bro.
Responded to all of this. Because despite being shot here in Butler, President Trump immediately called for national unity. And I'll never forget, my friends, what he told me after the second assassination attempt. It was probably the first person that he called that Sunday. And I was sitting at home with my son in Cincinnati, and he said, JD, they tried to do it again. I said, they tried to do what, sir? He said, they tried to shoot me again. And at first I was in disbelief. I think immediately my thoughts went to him and how he was doing. Of course, he was physically okay because he was calling me, but I said, sir, are you doing okay? And of course, President Trump, in his President Trump way, said, yeah, I'm doing fine. You know, I'm a little pissed off because I was about to make a dirt birdie on the 6th hole and they wouldn't let me finish. But it made me think. It made me think about the leadership qualities we want in a president of the United States. And so I'd like to ask you, who would you rather have facing down, Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping? Someone who is afraid of interviews with the friendly American media, or someone who faces down two assassins and returns triumphantly to the very place that he got shot? Now, some of you may have seen that I had a little debate with Governor Walz a few days ago. And I have to admit, I'm maybe the only person in Butler, Pennsylvania that feels that way, but I feel a little bad for Tim Walz, if I'm being honest with you. Because Tim Walz has to defend the indefensible. He has to act like Kamala is going to drive down inflation, bring up wages and bring back jobs and restore peace, the very peace that she destroyed. Well, I hate to break it to you, Tim, but everyone knows the truth. Kamala caused every single one of those problems because Kamala's day one in the White House was 1,400 days ago. Never let her lie to you and pretend that she's going to do something great. She's been in power for 3.5 years and she hasn't done a damn thing. And I hate to say it, but Kamala's record of failure is somehow only getting worse.
Facts.
Just a couple of days ago, I visited an area of our country ravaged by Hurricane Helene.
They didn't do shit. We gave them $750, y'all.
The Appalachian region of this country has been left behind and ignored by a generation of American leaders. But what started out as a natural disaster is becoming a man-made disaster. When Appalachia was underwater, remember, President Biden was sitting on a beach and Kamala Harris was at a San Francisco fundraiser. That is not leadership. That is a disgrace. And now we're seeing reports that deployments of the military and the National Guard are moving at a snail's pace. My friends, who the hell is running this country right now? Because it sure isn't Joe Biden. It sure isn't Kamala Harris. The Harris administration has given billions of dollars to foreign countries and illegal aliens. But now they swoop in and they promise $750 to American citizens who have lost everything.
Disrespectful, embarrassing, especially to the people that need the money right now.
To everybody at this rally, I want to say, I promise you, when Donald J. Trump is...
They both suck.
Have a president...
Oh, Rebel, I did give a reason why I put those particular people... Scroll back. You'll listen to me now.
We're going to ensure that emergency funding goes to American citizens and not illegal aliens. We're going to create record prosperity with low inflation and rising take-home pay. We're going to secure that southern border, stop the drug trafficking, and send illegal aliens back home where they belong. We're going to drive down the cost of housing, drive down the cost of gas, drive down the cost of groceries, and we're going to clean up our streets to make America safe again.
All right, we waiting for Trump to pop out right now. He's about to speak, but before he speaks, before he jumps on stage, I'm monitoring the other screen to see exactly when he jumps up. So as soon as he starts speaking, we're gonna throw it up. But I want y'all to look at Candace Owens exposing the fuck out of AOC. You know why I like Candace Owens more than anything? Is that this bitch don't say allegedly for nothing. Candace Owens said, "Yo, listen, Kamala Harris was sucking off Willie Brown, you know what I mean?" And she don't say allegedly. Me, I say allegedly because I don't want them to Tasha K me. You know what I'm saying? But this bitch right here, oh no, she's different.
So I said to my husband the other day that it's become apparent to me over these last few years that the left has no idea that the world did not begin in 1776. 3 years of traveling the country and facing off with hysterical liberals. And that is my scientific conclusion, that they haven't the slightest idea that anything exists or that anything ever existed outside of the United States of America. And let me give you a recent example. You will all recall when the left, which in my opinion has morphed into a doomsday cult, feverishly and inaccurately predicting that everything President Trump says or does will end America. But you all recall when they once again prophesized our doom when Iranian terrorist Soleimani was slain in a military operation. You remember that, right? This is the beginning of World War III, their headlines read. They promised us we were going to head straight into World War III. It was a remarkable day because it was the day that we watched Democrats and liberals, the ones who have been shrieking about sexism, misogyny, and the need for more feminism, turn into passionate defenders of the state of Iran, the country whose constitution quite literally states that a woman's life is worth half that of a man's, a country where women are punished by law for up to 10 years in prison if they are caught not wearing a veil, suddenly became the apple of the left's eye. Of course, the war never happened, but in the midst of their delirium, a tweet went out from resident anti-American Colin Kaepernick. And the tweet read, exactly, and I quote, "There is nothing new about American attacks against Black and brown people for the expansion of American imperialism. America has always sanctioned and besieged Black and brown bodies. American militarism is the weapon wielded by American imperialists to enforce its policing and plundering of the non-white world," end quote. Fascinating. A rant about Black and brown bodies being imperialized, a word that I must assume Colin either doesn't know the definition or the history of, used in defense of Iran. And so, of course, you know me on Twitter. I felt it necessary to mention to Colin, gently, of course, you know me, I'm very nice on Twitter, to mention to Colin that that particular country of brown and Black bodies used to be known as Persia. And rather unfortunately for his implied thesis regarding their perpetual victimhood at the hands of white,
she can't be fucked with.
Persia used to be an empire, quite literally an imperial dynasty for 200 years, almost as long as America has been alive. It was once the most powerful state in the world, imperializing regions from Egypt to India, regions of, you guessed it, Black and brown people. And while I have to say that I was not shocked to learn that Colin Kaepernick has evidently never picked up a historical textbook, I will say,
dumb motherfucker.
I will say that I was shocked that he hadn't at the very least seen the movie 300. A little movie where the Black and brown bodies are looking to imperialize the white.
You know what? I'm gonna show that clip later on. I want to show you a better clip than that when she go at not Oprah Winfrey. What's the other Whoopi Goldberg in The View? She be shredding these motherfuckers. Her and Officer Tatum has no mercy on them. What's this?
I'm fine if you disagree with abortion. I have no problem with that. My problem comes when you tell me what I need to do with my doctor and my family. How dare you?
Bitch, you eat pussy, man. Whoopi's a carpet muncher. Let's keep it real.
How dare you?
All right, counterpoint to you, Whoopi Goldberg. Number two. Did you guys know back at home, by the way, that in 2017, Whoopi Goldberg received a GLAAD Media Award for executively producing a show called Strut?
Do she even got children? Whoopi Goldberg, I don't think she liked dick.
It was a transgendered modeling show.
You shouldn't have no opinion on what women do with their body, because you don't do what women do with their body. Whoopi.
She won the award for speaking up for trans rights and against those trying to roll them back. Oopsies. This is why
all these ugly ass Democrats that's incapable of getting a man and getting pregnant or even want to get pregnant got something to say about abortion. Shut the fuck up. If men don't got a right to say nothing about abortion, bitches that don't use a coochie for procreation shouldn't have a fucking voice in it either.
why I love
My opinion.
intersectionality. Here we are in the middle of a vicious culture war where a bunch of men playing dress up and trying to convince people that they are women and can get.
Thank you. A bunch of niggas playing dress up, hoping that they convince us that they women. My man, you have a mental issue. If a fucking kangaroo came out of the fucking field and start acting like an elephant, hello, we got to call an animal doctor.
Give birth and they can chest feed. And
The head doctor.
here comes along Whoopi Goldberg, and she
got a daughter open. She probably got that from way back in the days from The Color Purple. You seen what happened on The Color Purple? She probably got pregnant on The Color Purple. Because ever since then, Whoopi been running around acting like she a dude. And anybody that act like something that they not, they gotta have something mental wrong with them. That's just my fucking opinion.
so
Alfie, Kenny, salute.
fired up about abortion that she accidentally
Joseph, salute.
tells the truth. Only women can give birth. Only women have a womb that is capable of carrying a child. They say never get in the way of our enemies when they are making a mistake. They also say even a broken clock is right twice a day. I say thanks, Whoopi,
Never get in your enemy's way while they're making a fucking mistake.
for proving that even idiots are capable of understanding basic biology. And for the last counterpoint, which I believe is so important in terms of this abortion debate, we currently have a culture where men are routinely accused of not stepping up to the plate. In fact, just this week,
Thank you. Shouldn't let you bitches have no abortions unless you get the man's permission. My opinion. Now, I don't say what you can do with your body, but if you go and do some irresponsible shit with your body, you feel where I'm coming from? Then the man should have a part of a man. The man should have a say so in whether you have abortion or not. You know what I'm saying? Because it takes two to make a fucking baby. And then after that, a lot of you hoes wanted to get pregnant and then, you know, put a dude on child support. You have no intentions of raising a family. I feel like that whole system needs to be changed. ASAP, no Rocky.
week, it was announced that only 18% of households in America today feature a nuclear family unit, a married mother and a father raising children. Make no mistake, father absence is one of the biggest, if not the biggest epidemic that we face in this country today. But why are we
black men don't want to be part of their family? Lies.
expecting men to step up?
All lies, man. Democratic lies, man. Telling y'all that the Republicans are racist. Well, I'm a fucking black man and I'm a Republican. So
The plate when we have women that are telling them that they don't have to. Why should men step up when the message that is ringing out loud and clear from mainstream culture and media is that beyond sex, men have no responsibility or say in the lives of their children? I mean, how on earth can...
Say it louder for the fucking people in the back, Candace.
Step up to the plate when we have women that are telling them that they don't have to? Why should men step up when the message that is ringing out loud?
I could be his mother and his father. Oh, yeah? And you're going to raise a fucking trans boy or a murderer by yourself. Facts. That's what you're going to do, especially if you're in the hood.
Loud and clear from mainstream culture and media is that beyond sex, men have no responsibility or say in the lives of their children. I mean, how on earth can someone logically explain how a baby is 100% the property of a woman as it grows inside of her? Then the moment that the baby is born, it requires a 50-50 split. Can a man stand before a judge at a child support hearing and say, Your Honor, it was her body, and it was therefore her choice to have this child? The answer, of course, is no. Obviously not. That would be stupid.
Imagine if you go to paternity court and say, listen, I didn't have nothing to do with this. Bitch went and had the baby. Well, I said, take it to the chop shop. Let's talk like we grown here now.
A man is colloquially referred to as a deadbeat dad for taking...
Matter of fact, excuse me, before we get any hotter, I'm going to let her talk. Can y'all double tap the screen and get the likes up, or go to the top right? Trump is about to be back on, but right now, Trump is about to be back. Is about to be back in Butler where he got shot at. JD just went nuclear. Let's listen to Candace.
No part or responsibility.
Shut, Candace. That doesn't make sense. That's not actually a complete sentence. Oakley's in the building. Salute. He took my invite.
A child's life as he or she grows up. And the same must also be true for a woman who wants no part or responsibility in a child's life as it grows inside of her. My body, my choice is a pervasive, deadbeat mom.
Oh, I'm sorry. Look at the comment, y'all. I told Oakley come to the chat. You know what I'm saying? And let's exchange some dialogue. Let's see how that goes today.
Argument that accomplishes nothing but excusing too many men from stepping up to their most important role as fathers. Thanks for joining me on this segment of Candace. If you'd like to join the Daily Wire's...
Hold up.
And we're really excited that's happening this weekend. Charlie, what are you hoping that the president gets out of these interactions?
Well, I first want to take a step back and just give...
I don't like the volume on this one. Give me 1 second. I hope Trump ever get up here. And hopefully, you know what I'm saying, like, he go like, he's either upset, mad, you know what I mean, clapping back, or he doing some JD Vance shit because we want to see Trump turn the fuck up.
That I object strenuously to your use of the word hilarious. To me, this feels a lot like your reaction to being named in one of these manifestos. Now, you're, of course, not responsible for...
Does not like you, black man. She's trying to get the black community to accept her.
The words of somebody writing that document. But I do think that
Illuminati in the building. My boy Kenny Cutthroat in the building. You know what I'm saying? She wants to be white, Robert said. She wants to be white. I think it's the exact opposite. I think that she's comfortable being brown.
At it is a real problem because these are real families that are impacted by this violence. And I think our effort...
Speak up. Candace Owens speaks up more for the black community than fucking Farrakhan. When the last time y'all seen Farrakhan come out here and donate some money to your hood, man? Y'all better knock it off.
Efforts towards talking about this have to start from a place of mutual respect, which is what I've heard from this side of the table. Now, the reason we don't have those numbers, I want those numbers as much as you do.
What hate am I spreading? Just tell me one piece of hate that I just spread it, right? And show me which cult leader I'm following. Just show me one piece of hatred I spread.
To say the numbers don't show something is simply not supported by the data.
Okay, and I have 38 seconds left, Ms. Mulligan, if you want to respond within that time.
The only thing I would add is that it's in the name. Terrorism, domestic terrorism, it terrorizes us. It terrorizes us in our homes. It terrorizes us in our schools. And to the points made by the other panelists, it is disproportionate to its impact on any individual life. And it's not.
You reject the idea it's something that doesn't matter or doesn't really matter.
Absolutely reject.
And okay. Stay out of my comments, man. I don't need no white people telling me what black people need. Respectfully. You feel me? I don't need some white Democratic cornrow wearing Karen to tell me as a black man what the fuck I need. I need you to sit the fuck down and shut up.
Okay. All right. So here's where we,
especially if you Black Lives Matter, just sit the fuck down and shut up.
We are. Every member now has had 5 minutes. And
now I'm angry.
Okay. And Mr. Clay. So we have 2 members who have not. So I'm going to go to the 2 members who have not yet. And we'll give an opportunity for a closing thought to any member who wants before we go.
Am I next to respond, or is Mr. Meadows?
I thought Mr. Meadows was
next. Mr. Meadows, okay.
Mr. Meadows is next, then Mr. Clay, then to you, Mr. Jordan.
Ms. Owens, obviously this is a gang up on you. You know, we're giving these witnesses the ability to do a rebuttal on you, and so you know, I find it unfair.
Thank you,
Ms. Ballou. I mean, you know, candidly, for you to show mutual respect and then you to go after Ms. Owens, it's not appropriate. So, Ms. Owens, you can have 4 minutes and 34 seconds to respond. However,
yield for a second.
I'll yield.
Thank you. I believe, Ms. Owens, when you used the word hilarious, it was.
Y'all know I love this clip. Double tap the screen. Let's get the likes up. Share the video. John Illuminati in the building. Salute.
Referencing the fact that no one had asked you a question. It wasn't to the subject matter of the hearing. Is that right?
That is correct.
And to have another witness insinuate something that is not accurate is just not appropriate, Mr. Chairman, for how witnesses are supposed to behave in front of this committee. I also think you didn't say it doesn't matter about the subject matter of today's hearing. You said there are other subjects that matter as well, and maybe we should spend some time on those. Is that accurate?
That is correct, and they matter much, 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 much more. And I've said that. I said that in my opening, and I will say it again. You know that white supremacy and white nationalism is ranks nowhere near the top of the issues that are facing Black America. And the reason that you are bringing them up,
it's a fucking distraction. That has nothing to do with our actual problems.
Up in this room is because it is attempt to make the election all about race, as the Democrats.
Not in my case, Ms. Owens. I'm sorry. Please do not characterize my motive.
Mr. Chairman,
I'm cutting her off. You goof.
It's my time.
Yeah, it's my time. You've got your time, Mr. Menez. I'll give you 3 more seconds.
Every 4 years, you bring up race, and you knew exactly what I meant when I said hilarious, and you just tried to do live what the media does all the time to Republicans, to our president, and to conservatives, but you tried to manipulate what I said to fit your narrative, okay? I was not referring to the subject matter that is hilarious. I said it's hilarious that we are sitting in this room today, and I've got 2 doctors and a missus, and nobody can give us real numbers that we can respond to so we can assess how big of a threat this is, because you know that it is not as big of a threat as you are trying to make it out to be, so that you can manipulate. And the audacity of you to bring up the Christchurch shooting manifesto and make it seem as if I laughed at people that were slaughtered by a homicidal maniac is, in my opinion, absolutely despicable. And I think that we should be above that. To try to assign reality or any meaning to a homicidal maniac writing a manifesto, which, by the way, let the record show, also stated Spyro the Dragon, the child's cartoon, as a source of inspiration. He also cited Nelson Mandela as a source of information. I don't think that Nelson Mandela has inspired mosque shootings. You can correct me if you think I'm wrong. You would rather assign meaning to a homicidal maniac than to actually address the things that I said today.
Hey, anybody get in the comments with some anti-Candace Owens shit, please just time them out.
That are actually harming Black America. Number 1, father absence. Number 2, the education system and the illiteracy rate. Illegal immigration ranks high. Abortion ranks high. White supremacy and white nationalism, if I had to make a list again of 100 things, would not be on it. This hearing, in my opinion, is a farce. And it is ironic that you're sitting here and you're having 3 Caucasian people
saying is that you're having more money problems and missing father problems than you actually having race problems for the people in the back.
Testify and tell you what their expertise are. Do I know what my expertise are? Black in America. I've been Black in America my whole life, all 30.
Now, this is the person that y'all said is trying to be white. This is the woman that's trying to be white. And she's speaking up for Black people. This is weird as fuck, yo. And I don't give a fuck if she speaks up or against Black people. It doesn't matter to me. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter to me because people speaking, people going to keep on speaking, bro. You allow yourself to get involved and entangled in these with your feelings and these issues as opposed to looking at the truth in it. The truth in the matter is this. First and foremost, that race shit is a distraction because none of that race shit is stopping any one of you niggas from eating. You understand me? That was for your ancestors. You dig? Now, what you do with your opportunities now is up to you. But ain't nothing stopping you, man. We got way bigger problems, man, nigga. And the migrant problem is a bigger problem than the race problem.
I think that we should be above that. To try to assign reality or any meaning to a homicidal maniac writing a manifesto, which, by the way, let the record show, also stated Spyro the Dragon, the child's cartoon, as a source of inspiration. He also cited Nelson Mandela as a source of information. I don't think that Nelson Mandela has inspired mosque shootings. You can correct me if you think I'm wrong. You would rather assign meaning to a homicidal maniac than to actually address the things that I said today that are actually harming Black America. Number 1, father absence.
Do y'all got your father in the picture? Yes or no? Yes or no? And we talking to the hood too. Do you have your father? If you don't know your father, or if you've never met your father, or your father's not a part of your life, type 1. Type 1. If you have an issue or you know somebody in your family close, a close cousin or somebody that don't got their father with them, type 1. Spam the chat with once. That's a big problem. That's a big problem. Even if we have 10 people in the chat that type 1s, anybody not having their father is a big problem. And in the Black community, it's a big fucking problem. So yes, fatherless homes is a big problem.
Things that I said today that are actually harming Black America. Number 1, father absence. Number 2, the education system.
The education system. Most of these dudes in the hood got left back They can't pronounce words. They cannot articulate themselves. They cannot add. They cannot reason. They don't know how to comprehend. A lot of you niggas. Oh, you talking against the black people. Well, nigga, learn how to speak English and I ain't got to talk about you. What does that have to do with Trump? It has a lot to do with Trump. The education system has something to do with the chief executive officer. You know what I'm saying?
And the illiteracy.
That's the CEO, but
rate. Illegal immigration.
You understand what I'm saying?
Immigration ranks high. Abortion ranks.
And parenthood. Come on, man. That shit is against us, y'all.
High. White supremacy and white nationalism, if I had to make a list again of 100 things, would not be on it. This hearing, in my opinion, is a farce. And it is ironic that you're sitting here and you're having three Caucasian.
A bunch of white people telling us what we need to do. You know what I mean? This is crazy.
Hearing, in my opinion, is a farce. And it is ironic that you're sitting here and you're having three Caucasian people testify and tell you what their expertise are. Do I know what my expertise are? Black in America. I've been Black in America.
That's the survey. What kind of survey is that? Black in America. Experience. That's what it is. You feel where I'm coming from?
Is a farce. And it is ironic that you're...
Stop, bro. This are issues for us taking care of ourselves. The government. See, that's what I'm saying. Education. Great matter. You don't even know how to fucking type. No disrespect to you. You need to stop, bro. This are issues from us taking care of ourselves. The government has nothing to do with this. Maybe you meant to say these, but those letters are not next to each other. So you meant to say this. Nigga, education. I'm about to leave and we can't hear her talk. Fuck you, bitch. Get out of here. Here, I'm going to help you leave. Look at this. 86,000 minutes or seconds I'm going to time you out for. All right? Now you ain't got to worry about it. Okay? Because she's speaking from experience. And you are speaking from a letter on YouTube. Go barbecue. All right? This chat is not for you. Get the fuck out of here, man. You think my name is Mac Nice? The channel says Mac Mean. True story. Goofy.
You're sitting here and you're having three Caucasian people testify and tell you what their expertise are. Do I know what my expertise are? Black in America. I've been Black in America my whole life, all 30 years. And I can tell you that you guys have done the exact same thing every 4 years ahead of an election cycle. And it needs.
We are praising Candace Owens. What I'm doing is I'm pressing the gas on the true issues that she's talking about. And I'm not going to let what the fuck y'all talking about deter me from what she's saying that's truthful. See, your feelings, you know, you need a lot of you dudes wear the panties with the dick holes in it. Let me keep it real, man. You got panties with the dick holes in it. I ain't talking about the underwears, the old school, you know. Double tap the screen while you were here too. Hit the like button, right? A lot of y'all too emotionally wrapped and you can't hear her.
Needs to stop.
Zero tolerance was interpreted as the policy that separated children from their.
If I get arrested for DUI and I have a young child in the car, I'm going to be separated. When I was a police officer in New York and I arrested a father for domestic violence, I separated that father from his
Mr. Holman, with all due respect, legal asylees are not charged with any crime.
When you're in the country illegally, it's violation 8 United States Code 1325.
Seeking asylum is legal.
If you want to seek asylum, you go through the port of entry, do it the legal way.
Do it the legal way. Can y'all double tap the screen, get the likes up? You know what I'm saying? Happy Saturday. It's a nice day out here in Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm actually going up to JD Vance's house today. We're going to go watch this movie called Get Out, right? And drink some tea, something like that, maybe some whiskey or something. But I'm definitely going to go up there today, all right? Trump, there's somebody else to speak, and I think he comes on right after that. But we're going to continue this, okay? And AOC is a fucking devil, all right? Anybody on that side is rocking with a devil.
The Attorney General of the United States has made that clear.
All you got to do is actually watch his rallies. But you probably don't do that and just regurgitate bullshit you see on the New York Post. That's a fact.
You know, Mr. Chair, I was looking, how did we get to this point?
Let me
How did we get to this point where we take
again? Much more. One more time and we're going to get to the rally.
And I've said that. I said that in my opening and I will say it again. you know that white supremacy and white nationalism is ranks nowhere near the top of the issues that are facing Black America. And the reason that you are bringing them up in this room is because it is attempt to make the election all about race, as the Democrats
Not in my case, Ms. Owens. I'm sorry. Please do not characterize my motive.
Mr. Chairman, it's my time.
Yeah,
it's my time.
You've got your.
My husband's stick is 9 inches and gets hard as a rock even at 62 years old. If he can do it, any man can.
Jesus.
Your time, Mr. Meadows. I'll give you 3 more seconds.
Every 4 years, you bring up race, and you knew exactly what I meant when I said hilarious, and you just tried to do live what the media does all the time to Republicans, to our president, and to conservatives, which you tried to manipulate what I said to fit your narrative, okay? I was not referring to the subject matter that is hilarious. I said it's hilarious that we are sitting in this room today, and I've got 2 doctors and a missus, and nobody can give us real numbers that we can respond to so we can assess how big of a threat this is, because you know that it is not as big of a threat as you are trying to make it out to be so that you can manipulate. And the audacity of you to bring up the Christ Church shooting manifesto and make it seem as if I laughed at people that were slaughtered by a homicidal maniac is, in my opinion, absolutely despicable. And I think that we should be above that. To try to assign reality or any meaning to a homicidal maniac writing a manifesto, which, by the way, let the record show, also stated Spyro the Dragon, the child's cartoon, as a source of inspiration. He also cited Nelson Mandela as a source of information. I don't think that Nelson Mandela has inspired mosque shootings. You can correct me if you think I'm wrong. You would rather assign meaning to a homicidal maniac than to actually address the things that I said today that are actually harming Black America. Number one,
double tap the screen, get the likes up, please, and share this video on Facebook. Specifically, if you got a channel, share it to your channel.
Father absence. Number 2, the education system and the illiteracy rate. Illegal immigration ranks high, abortion ranks high, white supremacy and white nationalism, if I had to make a list again of 100 things, would not be on it. This hearing, in my opinion, is a farce. And it is ironic that you're sitting here and you're having 3 Caucasian people testify and tell you what their expertise are. Do I know what my expertise are? Black in America. I've been Black in America my whole life, all 30 years. And I can tell you that you guys have done the exact same thing every 4 years ahead of an election cycle, and it needs to stop.
Zero tolerance was interpreted.
Right now, with all of these fucking articles and news clippings coming out by of Black women getting killed by police, all of a sudden 4 years later, everything is racist again. Everything. All right, now look, Tulsi Gabbard, if she was still a Republican, would have been the best option over Hillary. I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna change that question in the poll. But this is why I think that she would have been a greater option. Check this out. Watch how she ripped the fuck out of Kamala. Check this out. Double tap screen or go to the top right of your screen and hit the 3 dots. That's where the like button is at.
Senator Harris, you have also been quite critical of Vice President.
I remember before we go there, Kamala was kicked off of the ballot. She was not even an option. Basically, they just threw her at us, and that was it. You know what I'm saying?
On race.
And my personal opinion is that Hillary would have been better. You know, Hillary's on the left, but I like the way Hillary fights better. I think that she represents a stronger image. You know, the Arab countries is not going to respect no woman running the country. You know what I'm saying? So you got to have somebody tough.
Specifically on the issue of busing in the 1970s, having benefited from busing when you were a young child. Vice President Biden says that your current position on busing, you're opposed to federally mandated busing, that position is the same as his position. Is he right?
That is simply false. And let's be very clear about this. When Vice President Biden was in the United States Senate working with segregationists to oppose busing, which was the vehicle by which we would integrate America's public schools. Had I been in the United States Senate at that time, I would have been completely on the other side of the aisle. And let's be clear about this. Had those segregationists their way, I would not be a member of the United States Senate. Cory Booker would not be a member of the United States Senate. And Barack Obama would not have been in a position to nominate him to the title he now holds. And so on that issue, we could not be more apart, which is that the vice president has still failed to acknowledge that it was wrong to take the position that he took at that time.
Oh, I'm ignorant because I think it's an opinion, you stupid fuck. I'm saying that the image of Hillary Clinton looks better and more stronger than Kamala. Okay? Now that I acknowledge you, I'm going to put you on timeout for 86,000 seconds. Facts.
Now, I would like to also talk about this conversation about Eric Garner, because I too met with his mother. And one of the things that we've got.
Now, Kenny NYC referred me to Clinton kill list. I'm pulling that up for later.
To be clear about is that this president of the United States, Donald Trump, while he has been in office, has quietly been allowing the United States Department of Justice to shut down consent decrees, to stop pattern and practice investigations. On that case, we also know that the Civil Rights Division, this is important, the Civil Rights Division of the United States Department of Justice said charges should have been filed, but
man, she had more vigor and fight in her then. Where's this broad at? Because now it's, you know, she looked like she coked up half of the time. She's always laughing. And you know what I mean?
This United States Department of Justice usurped, and I believe it is because that president did not want those charges to go forward, and they overrode a decision by the Civil Rights Division of the United States Department of Justice. Under my administration, the Civil Rights Division will reign, and there will be independent investigations.
Vice President Biden, I want to give you a chance to respond to what Senator Harris just said.
When Senator Harris was the Attorney General for 8 years in the state of California, there were 2 of the most segregated school districts in the country.
And Kenny, I fuck with Valuetainment. You know, I play some clips once in a while, but I always stop them because I get hit from that channel.
In Los Angeles and in San Francisco. And she did not, like, I didn't see a single solitary time she brought a case against them to desegregate them. Secondly, she also was in a situation where she had a police department.
Damn, where's the real Biden at?
When she was there, that in fact,
if this motherfucker that's on screen and the dude we seeing right now, them 2 different people, bro.
Was abusing people's rights. And the fact was that she, in fact, was told by her own people, that her own staff, that she should do something about and disclose to defense attorneys like me that you, in fact, have been, the police officer did something that did not give you information.
I agree, Chris.
Exculpate your client. She didn't do that. She never did it. And so what happened? Along came a federal judge and said, enough, enough. And he freed 1,000 of these people. If you doubt me, Google 1,000 prisoners freed, Kamala Harris.
Thank you, Vice President Biden. Senator Harris, your response?
That is
a fucking loser.
Is simply not true. And as Attorney General of California, where I ran the 2nd largest Department of Justice in the United States, second only to the United States Department of Justice, I am proud of the work we did, work that has received national recognition for what has been the important work of reforming a criminal justice system and cleaning up the consequences of the bills that you passed when you were in the United States.
Oh my God, they are petty in the chat, man. This chat is fire, man. My chat be crazy. I ain't gonna lie. Every day. Okay, this person on the screen looks like this one on the screen looks like he could. Now, this guy that's on the screen, this Biden that y'all looking at, he looks like he could ride a bike. The new motherfucker will get out of the bike's way.
United States Senate for decades. It was the work of creating one of the first in the nation initiatives around re-entering former offenders and getting them jobs and counseling.
Thank you, Senator.
I did the work as Attorney General of putting body cameras on.
Watch how Tulsi rips this broad apart.
On special agents in the state of California.
And what she's gonna do, she's gonna spotlight that this Indian woman named Kamala Harris up there was responsible for knocking more black men down than the KKK. Think about that. They use a black woman to take black men down. A so-called Indian woman that masquerades as a black woman, bro. That runs around with a bottle of fucking hot sauce and fucks old politicians. Come on, man. I wish I could get Willie Brown, man.
Proud of that work.
I want to bring in Congresswoman Gabbard. Congresswoman Gabbard, you took issue with Senator Harris confronting Vice President Biden at the last debate. You called it a, quote, false accusation that Joe Biden is a racist. What's your response?
I want to bring the conversation back to the broken criminal justice system that is disproportionately negatively impacting Black and brown people.
Let's get the likes up past 300, please. Double tap the screen, everybody. I'd rather lose 300-400 of y'all and see the likes match. How about that? The channel's not monetized because I curse a lot and I tell people eat a dick and I time people out for 86,000 seconds. I call people pieces of shit, you know, stuff like that. So I need y'all to do the right thing with the like button. Double tap the screen. You're going to see a big thumb pop up like this. If that don't happen, go to the top right of your screen, hit those 3 dots, and that's where the like and dislike button is at. All right, puto, comply. Okay, I'm gonna wait for y'all to get the likes up. Don't make me show y'all a video of Diddy right now inside of his jail cell. Y'all know what's about to happen right now, right? All right, while I wait for y'all to get the likes up.
Seems like yesterday I had lots of dough. I got Biggie shot and nobody know. Shoot the club up, pass the gun to J-Lo.
We're on YouTube. It's not Instagram, all right?
All across this country today. Now, Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor.
What I do is almost impossible, getting thousands and thousands of people in here in a week, you know? And that's why I say you hit the like button so much, because something, I don't know why, with the new YouTube vertical live streams, they just don't put it right in your face. They make you go search for it. So that's why I end up telling y'all so much. And there's new people that come here all the time, you know? So I want to make sure they pay their fare. Pay your fare. I feel sorry for your mother. Everybody buy that one.
And that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence. She blocked evidence that would have freed
That's not all black people, y'all.
Innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so.
You're a pussy.
People in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to.
Wow. You want to know why? Because the inmates is making the license plates. The inmates are making the desks that's in the schools, the lockers in the school, the state glasses, those free glasses y'all get. They are making those. They have an optical program in a jail called Arthur Kill on Staten Island where they mass produce fucking eyeglasses. Bro, and Attica, the metal shop, is producing all of the tables, the desks, the chalkboards, everything for free. To get all that for free. Why wouldn't, listen, who owns the jails? The state doesn't own the fucking jail. The state, you know, they hire police to bring them in there. But who owns the jails? Who's the stockholders? Who's the stock owners? Shit, a motherfuckers like Oprah Winfrey. You dig? You dig where I'm coming from? And they're giving them, oh man, this is crazy. Yeah, so the state is financing it. So they have incentive to lock niggas up. We need to get these beds filled.
Keep cash. She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death.
Block the evidence that would have got these guys home. Why? I need y'all to be in jail because I'm in business with the owners. The state does not own it. The government doesn't own these prisons, man. These shits are private institutions, y'all. Do you understand what I'm saying? America owns no jails. The American people own jails. And who's the American people we talking about? The rich ones, man.
Death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind.
That was a nightmare. For Tulsi to jump on outside, y'all, they loved her over there. I'm going to keep it real. Even Kamala Coochie was wet listening to Tulsi dog out. I'm going to keep it real. They loved her. So her to switch over, you know why she switched over? And I showed the video the other day. A lot of people that switching over believe that we are about to go to war, y'all. The last time we seen motherfuckers tear this country up wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Like 9/11 was 9/11. Okay, cool. So many conspiracies. But Pearl Harbor, that was some real shit. That was some real shit. The way they smacked. And guess how they got them to do what they did? They got them to do what they did on medicine, bro, and mind control problems on programs. How do you think that you get a bunch of fucking Japanese to jump in their planes and take their planes and smash it into the target? You know what they found on a lot of those airplanes after they crashed? These little red metal cans. Like y'all you ever seen what's those breath mints name in the little metal can? They was red pills in them shits, and they were meth pills, pure meth. These motherfuckers was tripping. That's how they went into the bill. Think about what I'm saying. Even somebody flying an airplane, whether it's American, whether it's an Arab, anybody that's going to fly a fucking jet into a building, you gotta get high. That's why they in Chicago, they say you need a pill to drill. You want to know why? They're saying you're not a real killer unless you pop something in your system. You understand where I'm coming from? Anyway.
Kind of way.
Thank you, Congressman.
I'll go all over.
Senator Harris, your response?
Seems like yesterday I had lots of dough. I got Biggie shot and nobody know. Shoot the club
As the
up, pass the
elected
gun to
Attorney
J-Lo.
General of California, I did the work of significantly reforming the criminal justice system of a state of 40 million people, which became a national model for the work that needs to be done. And I am proud of that work. And I am proud of making a decision to not just give fancy
Nobody's clapping for you. They wanted her out the fucking building that day.
speeches or be
Trying to get her the fuck up out of there then. And now all of a sudden, the same ones that sit next to us are friends.
in a legislative body and give speeches on the floor, but actually doing the work of being in the position to use the power that I had to reform a system that is badly in need of reform. That is why we created initiatives that were about reentering former offenders and getting them counseling. It is why, and because I know that criminal justice system is so broken, that I am an advocate for what we need to do to not only
basically saying, yes, they're right, but this is how I fix it up afterwards.
decriminalize, but legalize marijuana in the United States.
I want to bring Congresswoman Gabbard back in. You're responsible.
The bottom line is, Senator.
And you see Kamala's face, she's so tight. She's so hot right here, man. She's hot.
Not only decriminalize, but legalize marijuana in the United States.
I want to bring Congresswoman Gabbard back in.
She definitely, she does. You don't see this face no more. All she does now is smile.
You're responsible.
The bottom line is, Senator Harris, when you were in a position to make a difference and an impact in these people's lives, you did not. And worse yet, in the case of those who were on death row, innocent people, you actually blocked evidence from being revealed that would have freed them until you were forced to do so. There is no excuse for that. And the people who suffered under
this is classic. I'm glad she put straightening on that.
For your reign as prosecutor, you owe them an apology.
Senator Harris.
My entire career, I have been personally opposed to the death penalty.
I'll be having so much fun with this. Salute, Ronnie. Double tap the screen. Let's get the likes all the way up. It helps the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel. It's free. Go to the top right, hit the 3 dots. That's where you're going to find a like button, or double tap the screen. Let's get it up there.
And that has never changed. And I dare anybody who is in a position to make that decision, to face the people I have faced, to say, I will not seek the death penalty. That is my...
Still waiting for Trump to jump on stage, y'all.
I think you can judge people by when they are under fire, and it's not about some fancy opinion on a stage, but when they're in the position to actually make a decision, what do they do? When I was in the position of having to decide whether or not to seek a death penalty on cases I prosecuted, I made a...
Bitch, you let them die. Fuck out of here.
Very difficult decision that was not popular to not seek the death penalty. History shows that, and I am proud of those decisions.
Senator Harris, thank you very much. Senator Bennett, a question for you. Why are you the best candidate to heal the racial divide that exists in this country today, which has been stoked by the president's racist rhetoric?
Yeah, first of all, the president's racist rhetoric should be enough grounds for everybody in this country to vote him out of office.
That's why you're not a fucking, that's why you're not an option no more. We don't even know who you are anymore.
That one thing alone should be enough. Second, Don,
let's get back to Candace, you know what I'm saying? A real nigga roasting these motherfuckers, you know what I mean? Like, for real, man. I think that a lot of y'all dudes, man, y'all act like women, man. For real. Do what you do, man. But some of you dudes out there act like women, and some of you bitches out there are way too aggressive. Especially you ones that want to have something to do with a boy. Why would you be a whole lesbian woman, have no intent of having any kids? You married. Y'all probably going to adopt a kid like the brat. And then you want to worry about what the women doing. What you should be worrying about what the men doing. You're trying to be a fucking dude anyway.
Was watching all the speeches and course. Don't worry.
To look into stuff like that is keeping very...
This is called Candace Owens attacks woke students, so-called woke students, causing them to leave in mockery.
Palestine conflict.
Hi. Hey, Candace. How are you?
Good, thank you.
So my question is just regarding the Hamas-Israel conflict.
Yeah.
I've been keeping very close tabs on that. I know probably a lot of people have as well. I was just wondering if you could clarify a lot of your statements, because I've seen obviously a lot of misinformation.
Yeah.
And then I just wondered where you got your news regarding some of the things about Israel, because I would love to look into stuff like that as well.
So give me something specific, because you say, like, either tell me like what it is that I said that you need clarification, or tell me what news I share, because I have a show every day, so I want to be able to clarify.
One of the things I saw was just about the Super Bowl like halftime commercial, and then you had mentioned how Benjamin Netanyahu had bombed a refugee camp. And
Yes.
And I just was wondering where you got that, because I want to look at that.
Right. So I believe it was the Israel Twitter that shared the commercials that they were releasing on Super Bowl. And my thing, just to clarify my stance, is that
she stays setting them up. She played nice. She let them ask those stupid ass questions. She watches them, and then she obliterates these motherfuckers. I love it.
if we've given you $300 billion, please don't spend your money on commercials like that you're creating to release for the Super Bowl. It's an insult, right? I don't, when it comes to my foreign policy stance, that you understand it. I don't care what country it is. When I walk down the street and the roads aren't paved, when the borders are porous, when the grocery prices are what they are, and when the gas prices are what they are, we shouldn't be sending money overseas, right? And you can apply this on a molecular level, right? And on a molecular level, which is to say, if your house isn't in order,
where do you go get real information? Well, look at the it depends on what type of information you're searching for, because that's a real vague question.
If your house is on fire and then you look next door and you see I
would just say off top, multiple sources, you know what I mean? And also too, people with experience, like older people will give you a lot of jewelry, older successful people. I ain't talking about old bums that's just
store that there's also a fire. You're not going to save your kids and make sure the fire is put out in your own house first before you go overseas, especially when it's Israel. They have a better economy than we do. I don't even understand how we're borrowed. That doesn't even make sense to me, right?
Actually, it wasn't that she got fired by her masters, right? She stepped off and started doing her own thing and became more visible and more successful doing her own thing, and more profitable too. I'm gonna keep it real. It's like being, working at a hospital, but the best hospital in America. And then you decide to go open your own practice. You're going to make more money off your own practice eventually. And that's what she did. Okay.
It's like, let's say I have $300 in my bank account and you have $9 in yours. And I come to you and I'm like, can I borrow some money? So it makes no economic sense whatsoever. And the last thing that I will say regarding Israel, and I think
it's a distraction for something way bigger. You know what I'm saying? Anunnaki.
That, like I said, a lot of Americans.
Definitely a distraction. But this in particular that I'm showing you is not a distraction. This is from years ago, bro. Okay. Salute.
Which you are American, but really understand the sentiment of this is that not only are you taking our tax dollars, but
yeah, man. And Puffy got fired from Uptown Records and started Bad Boy Records, right?
And if we want to comment or ask a question,
get fired doesn't mean to be unsuccessful. See, what we're doing now is we nitpicking. We're nitpicking. To get fired doesn't mean shit. Just like when y'all say, well, he's a great bit. When I say Trump is a great businessman, right? You have people that come and say, well, he's not a great businessman. He was bankrupt 5-6 times. Well, listen, have you ever had $1 million? This man has 6.5. You feel me? So it doesn't matter if he went bankrupt 1,000 times. Look how much he ends up with. He starts out with 400,000, ends up with $6.5 billion, and he lost $3-4 billion. So what are we saying? Feel me? It doesn't make. It's just some emotional shit to throw at somebody when you don't have real information.
You can't criticize Israel or you're anti-Semitic. I criticize my own country, right? You're telling me I can't criticize.
Okay, it says, well, I'm asking for sources. Where do you look for information? And just keep saying, I look at the points, like what Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. Well, listen, it starts from political science. For me in particular, right? I've been on this Trump train a long time. But way before this, many moons ago, it starts with me in 1997. Taking political science to spark my interest and trying to figure out what's, how these like boundaries are made, like with gerrymandering, how the votes is how do we get the votes, stuff like that, like the electoral college. Why do we need that? And this is where I find out that for Black people, right, when you want to be mad at a party, right, let's look at the history of the parties. everything that happened under slavery happened under the Democrats. The Democrats ran this country for the first 6 to 15 presidents. You feel me? So all that shit that y'all seen that inflames you and make you mad came from them. But today, you know, being black is being Democrat by default. To not understand the issues, to be caught up in your emotions, to not challenge things in a healthy way where it benefits your family. Where we go outside and we think, you know, like after listening to these people, you would think that being racism is a big part of your life. It is a part of your life, but it's not as big as they've been painted. Just like when you go to school, the education system teaches black people what? That we were slaves, that we was less than, that we weren't able to do this. They showed us everything that we couldn't do. It's like that experiment putting a tick inside the jar. You feel me? Tick might be able to jump 10 feet high, but you put it in a jar that's 1 foot high, and after a while of hitting his head on the lid, when you take that tick out of the jar, the tick doesn't jump but this high. It doesn't jump as far as it could jump. So yeah, in that regard, racism is an issue, but immediately it's not stopping you from getting paid. It's not stopping you from getting out that bum ass position you in. And being a homeless person is not actually being a bum. Being a bum starts with the mentality. You feel me? And when y'all don't understand politics and where your vote goes, right, then you're not going to understand how it affects you. If you just source your thing through the news and stuff like that. See, I understand how the structure works. Only thing I'm left with is to be able to use my knowledge living in this earth for half a fucking century, right? And use my experience to feel out who's telling the truth. That's it. Who's telling the truth? I don't get caught up into the party as much as I get caught. Because let me tell you something, right? There could have been another guy in place of Trump if he was telling the truth. We could call that guy, let's say it was Hillary Clinton and she was a Republican. We would rock with her if she was servicing our needs. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm just saying that for me to answer your question, right? That question there, I source it from a lot of places where I get my information. What I do on YouTube is entertain. Okay, this is not church. All right. Salute to you for asking that question. Great question.
Besides yours, pointedly ridiculous. We need more speech, not less.
Most people don't source their information from anything except for, you know, whatever jumps in front of them.
And the minute you take even 30
I'm actually against that. And this is why I'm telling people to think out the issues. You understand me?
cents from a taxpayer, you better bet your ass that we have a right to say whatever it is that we want and to ask questions if we want. Thank you so much for the question.
I'm not entirely sure if that young lady was being genuine when she asked her question. It's unclear whether she
vote for Trump this fall.
Wow, I love that.
Without mentioning woke.
It's commendable that Candace stands and join the fun. Let's get to it.
Now, as a registered independent like myself,
cool.
Without mentioning woke or the culture war or the Biden administration, give the case why I should vote for Trump this fall.
Wow, I love that. By the way, I didn't mention woke or the Biden administration or the culture wars once in my speech. So I'm just giving myself a little.
All right, Trump is speaking, man. We're going to go to that. He's up on stage. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what my boy got to say. Double tap the screen. Let's get the likes up. Thank you for the dialogue in the chat. I'm staying away from it for a little while because it throws me off when I'm trying to see like what I just did just now. Trying to address y'all in the chats. I like to take time out to do that. I'll do that the hour and a half mark after we get some speaking points on my boy Trizump in the same spot where they shot my boy at. You know what I mean? And then y'all said that was a fake shot.
Forever afterward.
Jessica, there you go, boo. There you go. Jessica, 1004. I got a lot of moderators in the chat.
Forever after, all who have visited this hallowed place will remember what happened here, and they will know of the character and courage that so many incredible American patriots have showed and know, and they know.
People with blue on their name with those wrenches, those are moderators.
Thank the men and women of the U.S. Secret Service who threw their bodies on top of mine. without even a thought for their own lives. They were on top of me so fast. They were on top of me, and there was not even a moment of doubt in their minds. You watch those tapes, not even a moment of doubt. I want to thank Secret Service. They're great people. They are great people. And in that moment, those agents displayed a devotion to duty that cannot be described, and they did it yet again less than 3 weeks ago when they really did a fantastic job. Another attempt. It was another attempt. We have an evil world. We have a very sick world.
Yeah, I get that part, Envy. I get it. But then again, that is nitpicking.
My gratitude to them is beyond.
I understand what you're saying because I'm kind of like that too.
Thanks to the
be accurate as to what you're saying.
Sniper and a local police sniper who returned fire within seconds and stopped the shooter quickly and saved many lives. If he didn't stop, he saved many lives. He had a lot of bullets, a lot of ammunition up there with him. And we are, I mean, just amazing when you think they did it so quickly without any knowledge of what was going on. Boom. And had that not happened, it would have been a very different story. It would have been
2 attempts on his life.
Potentially many, many people. I also want to express our thanks to the Butler Township Police Department, incredible people.
Can we get the likes up, please? Double tap the screen or go to the top right, hit the 3 dots. That's where the like button is at.
The Butler Sheriff's deputies, Pennsylvania State Police, and all of the other law enforcement heroes, as well as the emergency personnel and doctors, the medical teams at Butler Memorial Hospital, Allegheny General Hospital, who rushed me and rushed some of these very badly wounded people. They were wounded, a lot of badly wounded people, and in particular, two people. And I tell you, they were very brave and great people. They were big Trump fans, and they still are. That means something. That was pretty amazing. You know, when I got up, I asked whether or not anybody was killed. I assumed that there would be a lot because I heard the bullets winging right over my head. They said probably 3. The doctors did such an incredible job. It was one great gentleman, but the other 2 have been amazing, actually. They've gone through it. They've gone through a lot. And when the crisis struck, they did really Pennsylvania proud. You've heard that expression, Pennsylvania proud. It's a great place. I went to school. I went to college in Pennsylvania. It's a great place. The people are incredible. Also, and I have to say, after returning to the field,
get the likes up. Let's go. Share the video.
Brave Americans who was hit by the assassin's bullet, U.S. Marine veteran David Dutch. David, thank you. Thank you, David. Thank you, David. And David, we're thrilled to see your recovery is going well. Great doctors up here, I have to tell you, great doctors. Your courage is really an inspiration to us all. So I want to thank you very much, David. A great gentleman. Great. Send our love to someone who could not be here because he has just undergone a major surgery related to the shooting. A man who was really badly wounded, like David, James Copenhagen, because James was a wonderful man, a big Trump fan. And Mr. Copenhagen is out there watching us right now, but he's in a hospital where they did some additional work, but he's in great shape. He wanted to be here so badly, but he's in great shape, and we appreciate it, and we're looking to his full and complete recovery. He will have a complete recovery. Thank you. Thank you very much. And of course, there's one more hero who could not make it. And of course, there's one more hero who could not make it back here tonight because he is no longer with us, right? You know who that is, right? Corey, our beautiful Corey. Corey is not with us tonight, and he
got his brain blown out.
And we all miss him. He's become somewhat of a folk hero, I have to tell you. Who is with us is his beautiful wife and daughters and relatives, sister.
You know what's so savage about these motherfuckers? They were saying nobody even got shot till they seen his brains leaking on the fucking bleachers.
Please, where are you? Where are they sitting? There they are. There's a lot of people. It's not easy to find people in this audience. Goes back further than you can see. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Great family, a great, incredible family. And he loved you a lot. And, you know, his wife said something very beautiful. The public, a lot of people, all of us, a lot of people have been very generous. And she said, I'd rather have my husband. That's a good thing to say. That's a good thing to say. I'd rather have my husband. Corey Comparator was an incredible husband and father, a devout Christian, a veteran, and a proud former fire chief, very respected within the town. Everybody knew him. Few men volunteered to run into fires, but Corey was one of those who did. He ran into fires. I spoke to people that were with this guy would do anything. He was brave, right? Brave guy like you. And he was also a protector who put his life on the line for others, and he loved doing it. And when the sound of gunshots pierced the air on that July evening, Corey leapt into the fire one more time. In his last seconds of this earth, he threw himself on the top of his wife and daughters. He didn't want them hurt. He threw himself. He said he knew what was happening. He didn't want them hurt. And he was hit hard. He was hit hard. And he gave his life to shield their lives. Every father and husband in America hopes that if the time came, we would have what Corey had, tremendous courage, tremendous guts, and he wanted to protect his family, and he did protect his family. At this time, it is 6/11, 12 weeks to the minute that the shooting began. I would like to ask everyone to join me in a moment of silence.
Man, rest in peace to Corey, man. But I'm gonna take a hit for that song right there. So I'm gonna put some more appropriate music on. You know what I mean?
Let's show you how to play them hoes. Let's show you how to play them hoes. Let's show you how to play them hoes. Let's show you.
All right, that's enough of that. I just don't want to take it straight. They waited for that dude to get his head blown off. I covered it too, man. Go ahead. But when Trump got shot, we was actually streaming it. We seen everything, man. That shit was horrible. And then you know what's the slap in the face? Is that they turn around and they say, first and foremost, Joe Biden lies, and he said he calls Trump to see how he was doing. Never happened. He didn't do that. And then he said that he didn't get shot, man. This is cool. They're not trying to kill Kamala. I ain't seen them shoot a shot at her yet. Yeah, that song reminds me of when I was a degenerate in the house, hat to the back, whipping up some crack. Just playing. Double tap the screen. Let's get the likes up. Let me go to the comments until you finish talking. No super cap. Well, I guess the freedom is to tear down the very basics of America for sure. We are not attacking you unless you make the first move. We, the people, are always in defensive mode. Mind the Major Baltimore. Hell of a music choice, bro. I'm fucking with it. All right. Salute to everybody that's here. Double tap the screen. Let's get the likes up. All right.
Now that is what you call a voice. One of the greatest opera singers in the world, and Christopher Macchio, who's truly a great talent, is going to be back when I leave, and I'm going to stay backstage watching every song. He's going to sing 3 or 4 great songs, Nessa Dorma and others. And so I wouldn't leave your seat too fast when we're finished today, but this is in honor of 3 great people, actually, 3 great, and in particular, Corey. And we appreciate it, but that is a real voice, isn't it, huh? That's not, what do you think, Mr. Future Vice President? Pretty good, right? I don't know if you could do that, JD. I don't know. I don't think JD can do that. In the face of murderous hate, Corey answered the most selfless kind of love. We are joined this evening by Corey's incredible widow, Helen, his 2 precious daughters, Kaylee and Allison, and his sisters, Kelly and Dawn. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This is an incredible tribute. This is a tribute like no other, and he deserves it. To Helen and the entire family, I can only begin to imagine the depths of your grief, but I want you to know that just like you, we will carry his memory in our hearts for as long as we live. Everybody in this stadium and everybody that was there on that tragic evening, we are thinking about Corey. We think about him a lot. I know he's looking down on us right now from heaven, smiling at his beloved wife and daughters and his mother, Karen, and his entire family, And he's with you, and he's going to be with us for a long time because, you know, some people just don't die in vain, and what he's left behind is incredible. And so God bless you, Corey. God bless you. Thank you very much. God bless you. You know, I just one little story. Helen told me that on the day that they came to the rally, Corey was really excited because somebody gave him great seats right up front here with the people from North Carolina, the ladies from North Carolina. This is their 227th rally. I don't know what's going on with them. Those beautiful ladies. But they always seem to have good seats. You know? But Corey had the best seat in the house, and he was telling his wife and family on the way over in the car, he said, I'm telling you, he's going to invite me up in the stage, because I do that sometimes. I take people, we invite them up at the stage. And she smiled, thinking it'll never happen. And little did anyone realize that Corey would be on the stage 3 months later in an almost immortal position. And that's where he is today. He's on the stage in I think it's a truly immortal position. So the love that he showed on that day and throughout his life is the love that sustains the entire movement, love that our families have, and it's love of our communities and love of our country. It's a force more powerful than any hatred and malice, because even in the darkest hours, it shines forth as a guide, and it guides us like nothing could ever guide us. It guides us really like a candle in the night. And so it's love like Corey's that is joining us to save our country, that's going to heal our country, and that is going to reunite our country as one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So what our opponents have never understood is that this movement has never been about me. It's always been about you. It's been about a lot of people, millions and millions of people, the biggest ever in the history of this country, maybe anywhere. And everyday people who are the heart and soul of our country. They love our movement. They love our country, and they know they're doing right. Your hopes are my hopes, your dreams are my dreams, and your future is what I am fighting for every single day. And now I have a great companion in J.D. Vance. How good was he the other night? How good? He was great. He was great. But from the very beginning of this journey, I've been on a mission to rescue our country from a failed and very corrupt political establishment, very corrupt. We have to change it. We have to change it. We need also a very free and open press, and to give it back to the country you believe in and I believe in. It's a country that we were born in and the country that you deserve. You deserve this. In that mission, I will never quit. I will never bend. I will never break. I will never yield, not even in the face of death itself. And I believe that every citizen deserves an America with a grand, very, very grand ambition, great opportunities, and limitless. We just want limitless potential. We want an America where you can get ahead and be proud of life and provide for your family in a really decent way, where we don't have crime. We have a fabulous military to protect us from evil. We have everything.
Double tap the screen. Are we heading to World War III?
We have to have strong.
Type 1 if you think we are.
People coming in.
Or we are close.
We don't want to have open borders, do we? You deserve a government that protects and respects its own citizens, that defends your sovereignty, your security, and your dignity and your freedom. You deserve a nation that builds things, again, makes things better, that aims for the stars once more, and that once again commands respect. And we want to get respect like we had it 4 years ago. The entire world respected us. They respected us. They respected us more than they've ever respected us. And now they laugh at us. We can't have them laugh at us, can we? Above all, you deserve leadership in Washington that does not answer to the lobbyists, to the bureaucrats, or to the corrupt special interests, but answers only to you, the hardworking citizens of America, of which there are a lot of them. We have a lot of them. We have a lot of them. Over the past 8 years, those who want to stop us from achieving this future have slandered me, impeached me, indicted me, tried to throw me off the ballot, and who knows, maybe even tried to kill me. But I've never stopped fighting for you, and I never will. Never will. Never going to stop. Thank you. Thank you. And in turn, you have always stood with me. You have always stood with me, no matter what. You saw what was going on. You saw the hoaxes and the scams. You saw everything that went on. We are a team. We're a great team, I think. We're probably the best team ever in the history of our country, if you really think about it. We've fought together. We have endured together. We have pushed onward together. And right here in Pennsylvania, we have bled together. We've bled. We've had 3 people that really got hit hard. 2 of them made it. Great doctors, great doctors. They weren't supposed to make it. I wasn't supposed to make it. People said, my great doctor at Butler said, sir, you're the luckiest man alive. This would be a good time for you to go out and buy a lottery ticket. I've never seen anything like. I almost went out and bought a lottery ticket. I'll take it. And 31 days from now, here in this great Commonwealth and all across our land, we are going to win together. We are going to vote together. We're going to win the greatest election in the history of our country, maybe the greatest election all time. After we all have been through all of this together, nobody's gone through what we've gone through. Nobody. Because I go through it, you're going through it too. but there's never been anything like this. You know, I always say there's an enemy from within and there's an outside enemy. And if you're smart, the outside enemy is not going to be a problem. Russia.
Can you double tap the screen to get the likes up, man, and share the video real quick? All right, salute. I'm chilling with my homies, but we still watching. Salute, Michael. And again, you ain't got to have our opinions over here for us to respect you, man. Salute.
I think is much more dangerous than the outside enemy. We stand on the verge of the 4 greatest years.
Hit the subscribe button, man. It's free.
These the 4 greatest years. We'll turn it around so fast that your head will spin.
Those other dudes don't read your comments and talk to y'all, man. Me, I love getting in the comments and getting into conversation once in a while. I don't like to distract my conversation. I mean, what we're talking about, but I don't mind engaging with y'all, and I'll drop the link to it.
Within our reach. It is now within our reach. Think of it, 1 month from today, 1 month. We got to get there. We got to get there. They'll drop all sorts of bombs. They'll be hitting you, JD. They'll be hitting me. These people, they'll hit and hit. But I think we've almost become immune to it, haven't we? We've become immune to it. You got a little dose of it, a couple of little doses. No, that's the only way. That's the only way they can even think about winning, with open borders. Who wants open borders? Who wants men playing in women's sports? Who wants sex change operations for illegal aliens in holding bins? No, I don't think so. We will begin a new era of soaring income, skyrocketing wealth, millions and millions of new jobs, and a booming middle class. We're going to boom like we've never boomed before. And we're going to unleash a manufacturing renaissance right here in Pennsylvania, including.
Hold up, I'm not blocking no comments. Somebody in the chat must have blocked what you're saying. I don't even give a fuck what you're saying. I just seen that one. You feel me? I don't care what the fuck you say. There's a lot of people with blue wrenches that will block your asses if you say something stupid. Okay? That's it.
Poll numbers, by the way. And by the way, speaking of poll numbers, do you mind if I mention poll numbers? Because I only mention them when they're good. I never mention it. But one that's hit me really amazingly, Rasmussen, very highly respected poll. JD, it just came out. I don't think you heard this one, but this is a shocker. You know, they always say the Democrats will win the Hispanic vote, but we've been creeping up rather rapidly. And Rasmussen is one of the most respected polls. I mean, Republicans would get 4, 5, 6, 9, 10%. They just came out with a poll, 62% for Trump. Think of that. Think of that. And 34% for Kamala. I don't usually use her last name because nobody knows who I'm talking about. I go, Harris, Harris. They say, who's Harris? It's happening all the time. Who's Harris? And we can't find out who she is, because if we do, our country is going to be in big trouble. We will live in a very beautiful city or town that are safe and clean, with borders that are sealed and secure. And again, we want people to come into our country. We all want that. We need that. But you know what? We want them to come in legally. They're going to come in legally and love for our country. And America will once again be strong and confident and free. And we're going to have that. We're going to have it strong, confident, and free. That's why I'm here today. You know, I could right now be having a beautiful life. I don't have to be here. I could be on a gorgeous beach someplace. I have such nice property. I could be in Monte Carlo as an example, but I'd rather be in Butler with you. I would rather. I'd rather be in Butler. And I think JD would rather be in Butler, JD. No, I'd rather be here, because we're doing something. You know, they got a lot of rich guys that go, nobody cares about them. I had one about a month ago, very, very rich guy, and He called me up. He said, President, I've known him for a long time. I don't say how long because I don't want my wife to hear that number. It's a long time. But he's very successful. And he said to me, sir, could you do me a favor? The guy's worth billions of dollars. He said, could you do me a favor? I can't get into a restaurant. Do you think you could call them to get me in? And I said, what the hell is the good of being rich if you can't get into a restaurant, right? And I called the maitre d'. Hi, I'm a little embarrassed. Hi, this is Donald Trump. I recognize your voice. So would you do me a favor? A friend of mine is online about a mile back. This is a very successful restaurant. And he's got his wife. I described the wife. Could you possibly go get them? Could you go get them and bring them in? And he did. And my friend called me up the next day. He said, thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, doctor, please. Doctor in the house. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, doctor. Yeah, thank you. Take your time, doctor, please. We got plenty of time, right? We got a lot of time. You doing okay? Take your time. We've got to protect our people, right? Take your time. It's all right, doctor. Go ahead. That's all right. That's all right. People come out 2-3 days ago, and then they get it's an amazing thing. It's an amazing thing. We appreciate, everybody appreciates it. Yep. Take your time. That's great. That's great. Do we have the greatest people in the world? We have the greatest people in the world. First responders, thank you very much. Thank you.
If you're on that Trump train, I want everybody to type 1 in the chat. Double tap the screen, go to the top right, hit the 3 dots. That's where the like button's at. We about to go hot right after this go off. All right, salute. Ain't no crowd like a Trump crowd, neither. I ain't gonna lie to y'all.
Thank you, Doctor. Great job. Thank you very much. Thank you all. Fellas, thank you. First responders, thank you very much. People are here for a long time, and we appreciate it very much. And so sometimes that happens. A lot of times that happens, actually. But she'll be great. You watch. So 12 weeks ago, we all took a bullet for America, and all we are all asking is that everyone goes out and votes. We got to win. We can't let this happen to our country. We can't take another 4 years like this. We won't have a country left. We're not going to have a country left. And all of this will be for nothing if you don't get out and vote. It will all be for nothing. We will have talked about it, and if we do it, it'll be the greatest achievement, I think, in the history of politics for all of us for this age. Because we're going to change our country around and fast. We're going to do things that nobody thought were possible. We're going to do them fast. So Pennsylvania, it's time to stand up for America and a time to save our country. This is really about saving our country. It's never been like this. When you look at the crime, look at the crime. Look at the people that are coming in, murderers. 13,099 murders let in over the last short period of time. Murderers that have been released from penitentiaries, prisons, jails, released into our country. Crime rates all over the world are down. They're taking their gang members and their criminals. They're taking their people in jail, and they're releasing them into our country. We can't have it. You know, we just can't have it. How do you get more simple than that? They're releasing murderers. They're releasing drug dealers. They're releasing gang members and criminals. Human traffickers, mostly they traffic in women, and they're releasing them all into our country, and they're emptying their jails, and their crime rates in Venezuela are way down because, you know, but it's not only in South America, it's all over the world, in Africa, the Congo. A lot of people coming out of the Congo in Africa. They're coming out from Asia. They're coming out from the Middle East, Yemen. They're coming out from Yemen. A lot of people coming out of Yemen. And they're known terrorists, and they just release them into our country from countries unknown also. They know nothing about the people. Oh, go right in. These people are crazy. And we have to win. We'll stop it immediately, and we will, look, it will be a big deportation. We're going to deport these people. We're going to get them out of our country immediately, or we won't have a country. And if we win Pennsylvania, we will win the whole thing. The whole thing will be won. So for the sake of our families, for the sake of our children, we will keep on going. And as the expression goes, I mean, I'm a little embarrassed to say it, to be honest with you, but I'm going to say it because a lot of people do say it. We will fight, fight, fight. We're going to fight for our country. We're going to fight for our country. And together we will save this country. We will restore the republic, and America's future will be bigger, better, bolder, brighter, happier, stronger, freer and greater, and more united than ever before. Our country will be united. You'll watch. You'll watch. You know, we had the most successful country ever, maybe in the world during my term. We had the greatest economy that we've ever had. And you know what was happening? We were uniting. The other side, radical left people were coming over. They wanted to meet. They were coming over. Women, men. If you look at population, our black population, our Hispanic population, our Asian population, everybody was doing better. People that went to the best schools and best colleges.
They find that so hard. I find that so hard to believe that these Democrats can't even acknowledge that.
And our country was coming together, and then we got hit with COVID, a gift from China. Some people would call it the China virus. And we did a great job on that too. We did a great job, but the world was disturbed. $60 trillion in damage worldwide, millions and millions of, tens of millions of people killed. And we still, during this 4-year period, we had the greatest economy, one of the great countries of the world. And we left with a stock market that was higher than it was just prior to COVID coming in.
Oh, see, now you just trolling. Did a horrible job on COVID. Any president would have did way worse than what he did.
And we're going to do it again, and maybe even better. We learned a lot. We learned a lot about people and about doing things and what works and what doesn't work. And we're going to do it quick. It's going to be quick. And we're going to have safe cities. And we're going to
did an excellent job on COVID. Brought the country all the way up.
Washington, D.C.
During COVID.
Now, crime-ridden. You leave from the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. You go drive down to Washington, D.C., and you drive down.
Double tap the screen. Let's get the likes up, please, to 300 likes. Or go to the top right, hit the 3 dots. All right, we're going hot today.
See, we're going to make it again the most beautiful capital in the world. We're not going to have graffiti. We're not going to have graffiti on our marble columns. We're not going to have roads that have potholes all over them and medians that are falling into the highway.
All right, his speech ain't going nowhere, right? Let's move this show forward. All right, double tap the screen, like I said. Let's get the likes up. We'll go back to the speech if y'all here a little bit later, but I'm ready to kick some ass. All right. Starting with some of these, now the theme today is black, all right? And we must bring the fire, okay? And while I'm talking about fire, let's just turn my background into some fire, right? And let's turn the bar black. Let's make the bar black. All right. Salute to the Officer Tatum. Charlemagne, always doing bad, you know what I mean? One of the biggest detriments to us is Charlemagne the God. You want to know why? Because he's on radio. He's on radio. You see what they did to them people in Rwanda after they had their little genocide war over there? Guess what happened? They came for the radio broadcasters, not Diddy. Okay? They didn't come for Tupac. All right? They didn't come for Lil Uzi or Meek Mill in the cage looking at the camera. They didn't come for them. They came for the journalists, the people that were spreading that propaganda. So every time Charlemagne gets his ass handed to him, I'm first on deck to see. All right.
So when I hear Envy talk.
All right.
One person that came on here that I think did a great job.
We were growing.
Tom was a good person.
And about 1.5% per year.
You want to disrespect them, call them Sambo. Banker telling you that the country. I mean, you know what? You shouldn't need a banker to tell you, to tap you into your own reality. The reality is that a lot of you motherfuckers that was eating good in 2020 is not eating good right now. The prices is different. Your times have changed, and you can't be fucking honest. That means that you're going to vote for the motherfucker that's going to be a detriment to you. Wow, I need to get this last 2 minutes of this shit because he really broke it down, man. Salute to everybody that's here. Can we get the likes up real quick? I need everybody to tap the like button, right? Hit your screen like this twice. You'll see a big thumb pop up, or go to the top right, hit the 3 dots. That's where it's at. All right. It's a part of my show to tell y'all this. All right. Now we about to go hot.
He finna cook. You know about Kamala? She the vice president. She have nothing to do with nothing, huh?
Live and laugh. Salute.
Byron,
welcome to the team.
Get that seasoning out. Start
Tap
cooking.
to the channel, man. It's free. Just tap the subscribe button up there. And okay, came in hot. He said, "You are the same as the Jewish that were tricked into boxcars. You're just, but oh man, don't talk that over here, Illuminati, man." And I ain't talking about the J part. I'm talking about the. Whew, that's hot.
It's not true. He got
what he's saying is that we as people are willingly walking into disaster.
Trump on y'all? Gonna pull out the receipts. The receipt.
Tupac was correct. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace. All right, let me just let you know, man. You know what I'm saying? Before we start all the funny business later on, listen, I'm giving y'all a head start. He was a Democrat.
They can't handle a brother like that. And let me just say this. I love Candace. I love a lot of the conservative black women who are doing their thing. Shout out to them. The problem with Envy and Charlemagne and any of these people is that they like to attack women, talk over women, and do things of that nature. When you have a brother on there, a man, a smart, intelligent black man, like some of the black women they have on there, it's hard for them to talk over that man. I'm telling you, people just see it differently. We need to see more black men representing the black community, because I think it adds to a level of authority and a level of diversity of thought, because they love to bring women on there and try to talk over them. They didn't talk over Larry Elder, did they? They got punked. They not talking over Byron Donalds, did they?
Got violated. Now check it out, right? Earlier when I asked y'all, can Kamala suck a basketball through a McDonald's straw? I was only talking about that. I'm just letting y'all know now, right? It's because of what Judge Brown said, right? And that's what he said. So I'm presenting a question from Judge Joe Brown. Now, according to Judge Joe Brown, he knew her father. He knew Willie Brown. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see me show the videos of her getting down with Willie Brown. Double tap the screen if you're on that Trump train. Type 1 in the chat. But it was Judge Joe Brown, not Mac Me. I'm just presenting something from him.
Question most of America is asking, outside the Democratic Party or Oprah Winfrey at the DNC, who is Kamala Harris?
She's a fraud.
In what respect?
She is an image that's been carefully crafted. And you can start with what she is. She has a certain paint job, but that doesn't make her what she claims. And we have somebody that has a fabricated reality. I was just mentioning it a minute or two ago. She talks about she was that child on the bus integrating the schools. And if this was in California, I don't get it, because at that point I was a school teacher in LA, California, and we didn't have segregated schools. When she got in kindergarten, first, I was a playground director with the city school system. We didn't have segregated schools in the entirety of California. Both of my parents were school teachers. What they did is they shuffled the teachers around, but you went to school in your neighborhood. So I don't know where that study came in. So smoking dope in the dorm rooms, listening to Tupac. He was 11 years old when she was in the dorms, and when he cut his first single or release, he was 21, and she was a prosecutor in Alameda County, California. So
see, this is why we need different debates.
If you're like me and you like getting paid to give your opinion,
Judge Brown is just like fucking Candace Owens. That man don't say allegedly to nothing.
Debates. But Judge Joe, okay, obviously he wouldn't go up there.
They say
But we
he
need
bad.
somebody to do this type of stuff on stage.
He hate that bitch.
Let's see. Why you don't convict your damn grandmama, nigga?
I think Judge Joe Brown probably cracked for the coochie. He knew everybody else was hitting it, and she shut him down, man.
It's time for
She got him upset.
change. It's nothing I can do.
He gonna say that a long time. He gonna drag that one.
I know that messed me up, bro. I looked at her and I said, Grandma, you just told me you agreed with the policies and you didn't like LGBTQ and
Let's get the likes up. Double tap screen.
you just sit here and told me all the stuff that you should vote for Trump. Why you should vote for Trump. And it's time for change.
Just say, Grandma, but what if she don't change nothing?
A lot
But
of
Grandma, what if she don't change that she's in office right now, Grandma? You see Joe ain't running and she running it,
change
Grandma.
and they don't. But maybe
Joe said
Kamala's
he's
the
gonna cancel
change.
student loan. Grandma, he didn't do it.
Look, bro. You know, that's what I just think that it needs to be more people on the panel for the world to see, bro.
They do. They need to have. It needs to be even amount of
because this
will tell those things. Yes,
And she was that was
County, California. And she was a prosecutor in Alameda County, California. So
that was a story.
Where
she
do we go with somebody that will tell those things? Yes.
And she was that was a story she
That
told to
sets
Charlamagne
the
the God.
foundation.
So when she goes to Howard, she graduates, become a lawyer, and becomes a DA.
Yeah,
what kind
oh,
of
nigga,
DA
for
was
real.
she?
She was run of the mill. She got some advantages when it came to running. She had a boss that she clashed with in the end to run against him after she disappeared for a couple of years. Nobody quite knows when. So what happens between 1998 and 2004? What is she up to? How does she finance the run? Well, she's with Willie Brown, the mayor of San Francisco, who had been head of the Democratic Party caucus in Sacramento. And he got her a job when she was in her 20s, where she was supposed to nominally be working 15 hours a week, but actually it amounted to 1 or 2 appearances a month. And she was getting paid $72,000 a year for that. And then he ramped it up so she got more than $120,000 being on a medical advisory committee where most of
Y'all get mad when they say she slept her way to the top. They got receipts for this shit.
the rest of the committee members were all 70 or above because they had a lifetime in the field of medicine, which she did not. So she got $120,000 a year to finance what became a campaign for attorney general in the San Francisco area.
A couple of things I want to bring up too, in terms of her being
That's
tough on
crazy.
crime.
So Kamala was just we all thinking the same thing
Yeah.
out there.
She's playing politics.
All right, bro. All right,
Are we all thinking the same thing, man? Huh? Yeah, so let me read some of these comments. You are responsible for feeding your family. These people don't give a. YouTube censors freedom of speech. Like I said, he was 60 and she was 29. Why is Meek Mill in that cage? I'm with that, Amir. The real K 77 earlier, I did peep that. He said that pick was nasty business, bro. Right now, I agree with K. Salute to you, bro. Everybody subscribe to the channel. It's free. And y'all might be wondering, like, why am I flashing this real pic of Tupac? Right? Tupac Shakur was my favorite rapper. We're going to get back to Meek in a minute. Oh, my God. I got something for y'all today. Don't go nowhere. Who want their toes curled up? Throat goes in the building again. Salute Throat Goat. I'm about to get Throat Goat up. Matter of fact, go subscribe to my other channel, Throat Goat, because I'm going to give you a wrench on my other channel, man. That's Mac Mean TSTV, because I'll be trolling heavy over there. But everybody else, subscribe to the channel, Mac Mean TSTV. That's my other channel. Ronnie, smiley face, happy face. Hit the like, share, and live. Okay. Yeah, do that. Left censorship is wow. Yeah, the left is censoring stuff. They didn't censor Tupac, though. We all had Tupac's poster. Trump 2024, that's a fact. Drop the link. Okay. GT Parker. All right, copy. I got you. Hit that Cash App, $ Mac Mean, and I'll tell y'all why. I'll tell y'all why. And who? No Tupac. You know what I'm saying? Now, before I show you the next picture, right? You got to ask yourself, You gotta ask yourself. They say that don't look like Meek Mill. My nigga Diddy in the building. You know what I'm saying? I don't care who it is, but we'll talk about that another time, not today.
You never said nothing about that.
Hey, that's what you're playing.
Does Joe Brown hate this bitch?
Yeah, Kamala. Come on. Boy, that I still have.
Hold up.
That's crazy. You know, hey, baby, we can put you on a good salary.
You said that picture is altered. What picture is altered? I told you we're gonna get to that later on.
A couple of things I want to bring up too, in terms of for being tough on crime, and we're going to look at that West Bank thing should be looked into. I hear that, but when you talk about being tough on crime, she proposed a bill in 2005 that essentially would allow you to be arrested 3 times before you actually went to jail. The police chief at that time pushed back on it and says, "I can't buy." Heather Fong served as police chief until 2009. Says proposal is ridiculous.
Bro, done hung more niggas than the KKK.
So when she says she was tough on crime, tough on the border, it doesn't seem in many respects her record reflects that. Is that the what did you find, Judge?
That's like her being bused to school and her smoking dope in the dorm listening to Tupac. It's the fabrication. You put your finger up in there and see which way the wind's blowing, and that's what you try to do. Actually, her prosecutorial experience was an unmitigated disaster. I just interviewed a woman that was inappropriately caught up in that truancy thing for adults.
Hold up, man. I'm a little bit politics out. I'm ready to get into the dirty section. You know what I'm saying? Now, by the dirty section, I will let you know that here's a story, right? People that's here, that's new, double tap the screen, get the likes up, right? I'm about to show y'all some fucked up shit, and it ain't got nothing to do with it. It ain't got shit to do with Diddy today, right? I run into this story. Well, years ago, maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I started chasing down. I did a story called Dead Rappers, right? And I basically showed the rappers, how many rappers that died and stuff like that, right? And you come up on a guy called T-Roy, right? From from Chicago. And this fucking dude was King Von. King Von and him was partners. They used to go back to back. They say the kid got 10 murders, right? They got a picture of all the people that they say he killed. But I want y'all to hear this story. This story is just crazy. It's crazy. Trap Lord dropped this. Let's check it out, right? I had to go left field, man. I'm tired of talking about politics right quick. Let's go there.
Number 9. And others commonly mentioning him in their songs, often rapping about this pocket-sized savage who...
That little dude right there to the bottom left, that's T-Roy, man. That motherfucker right there was setting shit on fire.
Stood at only 5'2", carrying guns.
And excuse me, he wasn't a rapper, you're right. But they say that he was the only drill rapper that never rapped.
And not being afraid to use them, essentially being one of their most admired shooters. T-Roy, real name James Johnson, got his nickname from his second name, Troy, which is appropriately derived from the Old Irish word meaning foot soldier, someone who's really in the field during wartime. T-Roy was born and raised in the infamous Parkway Gardens apartment complex, better known nowadays as O-Block. O-Block's located on the south side of Chicago, on the border of Woodlawn, more specifically West Woodlawn and Washington Park neighborhoods. But O-Block is not only an apartment complex with almost 700 units, but it's also the name of an alleged gang that resides there. A gang most recently made famous by 6 members who were convicted of the murder of rapper FBG Duck, who allegedly belonged to the rival gang STL on nearby St. Lawrence and 63rd. T-Roy himself was an alleged member of the O-Block set.
The stupidest 6 motherfuckers I've ever seen in my life.
A street gang who pledge allegiance to the Historical's Black Disciples gang, founded by legendary Chicago gangster David Barksdale. T-Roy himself had 2 brothers, who were known on the streets as HK, and Slutty. Both of those brothers have since tragically passed away, but their mother would also raise 3 other cousins as her own, Zelmunna, Eli, and Mario, with the first of these, Zelmunna, now also dead, taking his own life after being identified as a shooter in the murder of FBG Duck 2. But the story of T-Roy's siblings could very well be its own video. But for T-Roy, growing up on the south side of Chicago, he would become accustomed to death at a very early age.
All this shit starts over Dell.
In 2009, he would seemingly be strongly impacted.
I mean, OD, I think OD from the, is how they make O Block, you know what I'm saying? But I think that a lot of the smoke started over that kid Dale getting killed.
By the tragic death of a young woman from Parkway Gardens called Keita, who seemingly died from natural causes. But clearly this woman had a huge impact on T-Roy, who even went on to name his own Facebook account after her. But this was also a time when youths like T-Roy were beginning to truly experience the violence taking place in the streets of Chicago. In 2011, O-Block would end up losing 2 important members to gang violence, OD and Platoon. The first of these, OD Perry, was the very person whom the gang O-Block would take their name from, with Parkway Gardens formerly being known in the streets as Wick City, but after OD's death, the gangsters there would proudly call themselves O-Block. Undoubtedly, these deaths played a major role in making a young T-Roy become increasingly active in the streets.
My boy was active, y'all.
He would allegedly begin his years-long revenge campaign, dishing out deadly violence.
So the first dude is Dale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let me see what's going on here, because I thought he only had 4 bodies.
Towards the opposition of O-Block, with T-Roy ultimately gaining a reputation as one of Chicago Drill's most savage shooters, all of which without ever rapping a single bar.
Now, William, folks, I agree with you 100%. You know what I'm saying? Normally, 9 out of 10 times, this is a single black woman raising a kid, and he either turns into a mook or killer.
Squad on Black boys. Guys, GDK.
If you make it out, then you're special.
Squad, big boss, I love you.
So again, Candace Owens wins because she said that father's not being present in the house is one of the big problems too. It's our father's not being there hurts us more than the fucking police, bro. Trust me when I tell you, the motherfucker to either be a gangster or come home with a turquoise or pink gun. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's a fact. Salute to you.
My nigga, alright, booby. Go find
Give prisoners more rights than law-abiding citizens. Okay, speaking of that, let's go to where Kamala Harris wants to give all the inmates free sex changes. How about that? That's real.
Up on me, I will shoot you. No problem. I will.
Which is more important?
Up on me, I will shoot you. No problem. I will shoot you.
They going shot roll, folks, walking through that bitch, folks. On day, folks. Right out here, folks.
Leave me alone. Cause I stay with my savages. Well, I'm solo right now. But leave me the fuck alone. Don't be that damn. Cause you don't know if I was on your ass. Cause I ain't gonna get the motherfucker. You know, looking at you and none of that shit. I'm just gonna scorn you, dumbass. Scorn, bitch. What's up? RP my brothers, man. Scorn gang, bro. We stretch gang, scorn gang.
On the 3rd of December 2011, at around 3:45 p.m, a young man named Dale Fisher, also known as Squirrel, was walking with a friend to the corner store near 62nd and St. Lawrence, when a silver 2-door car would pull up next to them. Someone leaned out the window, opening fire, hitting Dale several times. This was a brutal and senseless slaying, but even more brutal was the fact that in the aftermath, someone would take a graphic picture of Dale's body laying on the sidewalk. It's moments like this that really drive home just how dark life in the Chicago streets can really be. After the shooting, and after being pictured on the ground, Dale was taken to the Stroger Hospital, where he was pronounced dead about half an hour later. Police would report claims that Dale was shot a total of 12 times. And according to Dale's friends and family, he wasn't really a gang member and would rather spend time at a youth center than on the streets. Dale's family had actually moved away from the Washington Park and Woodlawn area to the Chapman neighborhood about 3 miles south. But unfortunately, Dale would still come back to his old stomping grounds to hang out with his friends, some of whom were indeed affiliated with the sets in the area that were enemies of O-Block.
Double tap the screen. Let's get the likes up, please. Or go to the top right, hit the 3 dots.
2nd, as well as crews within them like FYB and FBG. In the years following Dale's death, many of these people would tweet about Dale being an innocent civilian who had nothing to do with any gang rivalries in the area. However, Dale was seemingly
Dale brother. They said Dale brother is the one main is the one that killed Dale.
around real gang members.
Not Dale. They said that he killed OD, I think. You know what I mean? They had it out for his brother,
who had many enemies in the streets. One video of Dale, seemingly taken within a day of his murder, would even circulate online. Dale would be seen in pictures throwing up gang signs, suggesting that he himself had already been sucked into the gangbanging lifestyle. And seemingly, his connection to gangs would come from family ties, as Dale's big brother was a known St. Lawrence member who went by the name Main Main. Main Main was even seemingly mentioned in the police reports regarding the murder of O.D. Perry, with O.D.'s mother stating that she had heard that a man called Main Main.
Now think about that. They named the O Block after O.D., right? Main Main was the one that they thought, or they say, that killed OD. So Main Main is a big op. So his brother, even though he was, you know, a schoolboy and shit like that, I think that he took that hit because of that.
Was behind OD's murder. Dale's killer has never been caught, but there have been several factions and suspects who have been rumored to have been behind this
allegedly
murder. For example, in 2012, rapper billionaire Black's brother Richie Jerk would seemingly implicate the Lamron set for killing Dale. But another popular suspect in the murder has been D Rose, who belonged to the 600 set, who were very close to O Block themselves. However, O Block's own T Roy has also been suspected of being involved in Dale's murder, with the implication that this may well have been the first of as many.
Damn, every murder that the internet has pinned on T-Roy, O Block, Dale, Boss, damn.
He has 10 murders that he had committed for his gang. Although some have claimed that T-Roy couldn't have been involved, as he may well have been locked up at the time of the murder. However, recently, this case received a crucial update during the recent trial relating to the murder of FBG Duck, when one of the cooperators, allegedly FBG Butler, would tell investigators that Dale
y'all seen Butter crying and when he got locked up last week?
Had indeed been killed by T. Roy and D. Rose. While the case was never definitively solved, the willingness of federal prosecutors
got caught with a gun. He in the fucking cell, acting like a whole bitch.
To name T. Roy as a killer in paperwork speaks volumes. However, this was only the first of many rumored murders which T. Roy was thought to have played a role in. The next one would see him allegedly being assisted by his best friend, infamous killer and rapper from O Block, King Von.
Them niggas together was like Batman and Robin. They said they was just knocking shit out the park.
About 5 months after the murder of Dale, on the 28th of April 2012, at around 9:30 p.m, a 23-year-old man called Doc, or King Doc, real name Marlon Monroe, was walking near 63rd and St. Lawrence, the heart of STL's territory, when somebody opened fire as he was in front of the corner store, striking him once in the chest. Doc would then try to escape his attackers across the road.
Eve, I see what you said. That is true.
Through a patch of tall weeds in an empty lot in the 6300 block of St. Lawrence.
He made my dog uneasy too, man.
Where he would ultimately succumb to his injuries, passing away on the spot. However, when police would come to investigate the reports of shots fired, they couldn't see
what a shit posed. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, but salute to you, because I think that you said some good stuff in it. I get what you're saying, but this is YouTube, man. This is just entertainment, okay? Don't take it too personal.
Doc laying there in the tall weeds and would leave him there. And it wasn't until Doc's relative, a teenage boy named Modell McCambry, would go through that empty lot.
For you, I'm going to change it. If you feel offended by that, I'll change it. You know, I'll make it
way home.
I'll make it even more offensive.
Later, that he would actually stumble upon Doc's body. According to Doc's family,
tap screen, get the likes up on the way in the door, or hit the 3 dots to the top right.
He had been going through a rough patch in his life and had recently been freed after doing a prison bit, which he was seemingly also celebrating on his social media. Doc had only recently begun getting his life together, getting his GED in prison, and now he wanted to get himself a painter's license to start making an honest living. In fact, the night he was killed, Doc had actually been at his aunt's property doing some maintenance, shortly before his life was cut short. However, Doc was also allegedly gang affiliated, particularly with the EBT set named after Eberhart Avenue, who were close with several other gang sets in the area, including STL, Jaro City, and MOB. People seemingly affiliated with these sets would also mourn Doc's death on their social media, some of them even seemingly alluding to knowing exactly who had killed Doc and vowing revenge. The police would also monitor on social media that members of these gangs held Lamron and Brick City, which is an older name for 600's hood, responsible for Doc's murder. But on the other hand, in 2013...
Now, I just presented another question in the poll. That one's for you, Ava, whatever your name is. Salute. We just want to know if you type too much. I don't think you type too much. I think that you said some valid shit in there, but just to show you that we care about the comments, okay?
Teen MOB Beans would tweet how he was about to do his ops like Wick, the former name of O-Block, had done to Doc. Now, despite there not being many hard facts that are publicly known about the suspect, online Chiracologists on Reddit who follow the Chicago drill scene closely have theorized that T. Roy may well be the most likely culprit in the murder of Doc. This is seemingly based on factors like T. Roy being known for aiming to the chest and for killing affiliates that weren't.
See, type now. Tell the people what you think, okay? And I'll let you present a question on what you think the poll should say, my show should say. I asked, do you think that can Kamala suck basketball through a straw, like Judge Joe Brown said? Now, if you was here for that part, then cool. But if you wasn't, you might have just not heard, you know, I forgive you. But the people are voting on you, Eva.
Directly involved in the many beasts that O-Block had.
I'll stop being petty.
There are also claims that EBT had been talking about catching T. Roy on Facebook immediately following the death of Doc, but ultimately this murder remained unsolved, despite many people believing that this killing may well have been carried out by a group of shooters from O-Block, which included both King Von and T. Roy. Interestingly, King Von would start a Twitter account in the months that followed this murder, where he would seemingly tweet openly about his friendship with T. Roy and their activities in the streets together, saying that they shoot people like it's nothing, and tweeting openly that he will kill. With this sort of thing casually being tweeted by Von and T. Roy, it's no surprise then that within a matter of months, they would both be suspected of yet another murder in the neighborhood.
You niggas was savage.
Hey, did you know you might get a big cat?
They was savages, man. Them little motherfuckers. Anyway, we gotta move along, man. I can't stay there, man. Because all of that murder and shit is just my brain. It's sad as young black dudes, you know what I mean? But they'll tell you that racism is a problem. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that racism is fueling these fucking dudes to kill each other like that. You know? Now, I have something here that says real life lawyer breaks down the updated Diddy charges. Now, y'all see the numbers that's going on. I think like 57,000 new charges, whatever. I lost count after the 100. You know what I'm saying? But look, this is updated. This is just dropped. And this is a lawyer giving his opinion on it.
Froze all his money. He has friends that have access to private planes. Even if you froze all his money, he has friends that have access to private planes. And so even with a leg monitor, right? We all have heard stories of people cutting off their leg monitors and
Can you double tap the screen and get the likes up? Trump train type 1.
Appearing for at least days. And so here you have a man who can cut a leg monitor off, hop on a plane, and leave the country. And he has the financial resources to do it as well. And he has the financial resources to take care of himself, even if he decided to come back. So once they got their hands on him, they're not going to let him go. Real life. Attorney's like, no. They go their separate ways. Next time, same thing. Defense attorney says, well, we may be able to assist you with this, or this may be an outcome. Would you think about this? Now that the prosecutor's like, okay, talk to you next setting. And so sometimes you can have those settings keep going back and forth and until you get to a point. I once had a trial between me and the prosecutor in a back room. And we literally, no jury, no one but us, but we were just kind of like a gentleman's agreement, right? And so we just went back and forth. And I knew the prosecutor. We went back and forth until we got to a point where we both said, okay, I think we've kind of met somewhat in the middle. And this is as far as I'm going, this is as far as you're going to get, and you can take this back to your client. And it was a good deal for my client at the time, because truth be known, we were probably at a 70-30, with 70 being more favorable to the prosecution as far as the evidence concerned. I always like to give myself a 15-point credit where I can pull back that, but still, even if I did that, we were still behind the 8 ball, right? But that's kind of where we played it at basically a 45-55 situation where they squeaked out a win and probably would never get to where they wanted to get to as far as punishment. And so I know that I developed a reputation during the punishment stage that my closings beat the initial offer. So with the Diddy situation, they're probably going to go back and forth for some time. Diddy is not going to, I'm sorry, Sean Combs is not going to just throw all his eggs up front. He's going to piecemeal it to the prosecution and wear them down and show them that their case is not as strong as they think it is, that some of these victims are not victims at all. They're just people of opportunity. And then he'll just keep wearing that down until they can get to something that they're comfortable with.
So you saw, again, when you spoke on this, we didn't know what an indictment was going to be, but then the indictment came down, they unsealed it, showed what it was. Now, you as an attorney, do you feel like the federal government has a strong case when it comes to the criminal matter of what's going on outside of the freaky nature?
Yeah, by all means, man. I mean, most people are definitely afraid to even walk into a federal courthouse.
Yes. Big boys.
Jurors are afraid. Everybody's in awe. So that's advantage federal government, right? The evidence and the public perception that they currently have is strong as well. And I'm going to go ahead and correct myself. Cassie was beaten because I got.
There was Cassandra. I don't know what you called her. What'd you say?
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that again. I'm not saying that again. So to the 2 or 3 people who corrected me on the name, I left it alone. I apologize.
They picky, boy.
Hey, you know what? But you know what? Call me out. If you see something and I see it, if I'm wrong, if I see it, I'll chime in. Or if I feel like I'm not wrong, I'll chime in and explain why I said what I said. So I have no problem communicating with your viewers.
Yeah. So yes, no, as you stated, Cassie, the 1,000 bottles of baby oil, which is not illegal. Again, it's not illegal. But
is it not?
Man, listen.
Is it not?
Is
it flammable?
It's flammable.
No, I'm just asking.
Physically or metaphysically? Like, what are we talking about? Because it can go both ways.
I don't want to know about the metaphysical part of it. But no, I mean, that much of anything, quite honestly, if it could be used to make a bomb, chances are you're not supposed to have that.
But it's easy defense. Hey, we like having oil parties, bathtubs full of oil and slip and sliding.
Is it a fix?
To me, that's an easy
fix.
Yeah, I mean,
don't say
move
that.
on to the next question.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
It's like we literally have baby oil wrestling nights.
You know why you don't want to?
Is that illegal?
It's illegal in the context of how Sean Combs uses it. So you don't want to say that.
Okay.
So don't, if Sean Combs, if
all right, Gene Deal just went live with Paperwork Party, man. Actually, when Trump started doing this thing, I was about to watch that, but you know, I said, let me just go to the Trump thing real quick. This is right here, man. Gene Deal is hurting the situation right now.
About this bullshit, and then they telling me how motherfuckers trying to say I lie.
Nah, Gene Deal ain't lie yet, man. They ain't catch him in one lie
about something and this, that, and the third. Nigga, listen to me. Is one thing I gonna never do. I ain't gonna lie to no man, and I'm never gonna lie to no people about nothing I say or fucking do. I've been grown for a long time. I've raised kids to be adults, women, girls to be women, boys to be men. I'm grown and some. I ain't gotta lie about nothing I say. Now, what I wanted to do was I want to come here and straighten out what is misconstrued by some of these motherfuckers, which is really not really misconstrued because they want it to be what they want it to be. They want to try to make it seem like what they want to make it seem like. Now I'm backpedaling, I'm doing this. If I don't believe some motherfucker, I don't believe it. If I don't believe that the fact that, you know, they say they got a hotline had 3,000 motherfuckers come in. And what I mean that when I say I don't believe something is I'm saying this like, God damn, I don't believe that shit. Make me out a believer, nigga. I'm from the show me state. If you say you got 170 motherfuckers, let me see. Now, if you come up, if you only got 150, nigga, I told you I ain't believe 170. If you come up and you got 169, damn, you still went off. I still win. But I'm just saying, make me out a motherfucking believer. I'm not down rating what none of these abusers or all these people who claim they abuse. That's them. They got to deal with that. You want me to have sympathy for you? Yeah, I have sympathy for you. Feel that way. I wouldn't want that on my own daughter. I wouldn't want that on my own motherfucking sons. I wouldn't want that on somebody close to me or my friends or anybody. But still, I can't believe a motherfucker would do some dumb shit like that. That's what I'm saying. But I want to get into something a little bit more effed up. It's right here on the bike. I want to get on something a little effed up, and that's this whole Usher situation. You understand, brother? I want to get in this whole Usher situation and
no flavor camp.
Who I was at the time, and I was going to post a lot of pictures, bro. I was going to post pictures, but see, I know these niggas is going to get them on the internet. I was going to send them to you, paperwork. I was going to send them to you, but I see, I know niggas are going to take them and use them for they self. When action factual, I'm going to license them motherfuckers and sell them like I supposed to. You understand what I'm saying? Because that's all these niggas on this internet, all they want is freebies. They want free content. They want free stories. You understand? They want to take what we build and what we do, bite off of it, and try to make it theirs when they wasn't even there. They wasn't even around. Nobody even knows them for being around. Nobody even knows them from being there.
For real. I hope they don't turn it into this.
You understand? If I say 2 or 3 names and it's 4 people, you couldn't even fill in the motherfucking blank. Sorry about that paperwork. I just got to get this off. You know what I'm saying? Talk to me, brother.
Off your chest, man. Get that shit off your chest. Shout out to the game, man. It's going down.
All right.
Yeah, I'm just saying today, y'all is going to be talking about Usher. Be sure to hit the like button. If you have a serious question that you want to ask Gene today on the show, be sure to put it in a super chat. Remember, I read all super chats, all right? I read all super chats. Be sure to put in the super chat. If I miss your question, do not get mad at me, all right? Because guess what, gang? I read all super chats. All right, if I see a nice little super chat, I'm going to read it. All right, and then that way Gene will answer that question. All right, Gene, you got the flow, man.
Shout out to Dr. DeCosta and everything like that. Shout out to my bodyguard. Shout out to the paperclip. Check this shit out, man. Let me give y'all a vision, if I can. First of all, I don't write this shit down. I don't have no producer of my show. I got a producer of my music. That's paperwork. You understand? He produced the music. You understand what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So that's the only time I've been involved really seriously with a producer. I didn't know nothing about no YouTube shit. Motherfucking is Wisdom Clear and MREC is the reason I got a show today. You understand? So now let's get greasy. Yo, paper, how many people we got in here? Because I can't see.
No. We got 1,300 in here right now. 1,300.
Oh, that's a good number and shit like that. I appreciate the 1,300. So 1,300, 300 of them. You got probably 150 people in here from the paperclip. I got 150 in here from the Gene Deal show. The rest 1,000 motherfuckers is content creators. Trust and believe. Holla if you hear me. You got like 1,000 content creators trying to get
guilty,
but that's all right. We good anyway.
My title is Trump Speaks, though.
Let me give you a picture of Harlem. around 89, 90, man. You know what I'm saying? 80, just say 89, 90. The same game was started in 89. Nigga, we was doing it. We gave picnics, boat rides, parties. You understand? Dudes in
parties
in the music industry want to be with the crews, and they connected themselves with the crews in the streets. You understand? The dudes in the music industry.
Keisha is coming in hot.
Try to connect themselves with dudes in the streets. Big L.
So, well, we'll keep it real. Gene's always been more smart than him because he was with law enforcement. He was a parole officer, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So he was on.
And shout out to Big L, one of the prolific, one of the.
He knew how to stay out of that.
Best motherfucking niggas that you could ever hear spit. Y'all thought Big had it. Big L had that, bro. You understand? You know, he was over there with probably the 40 Wolves and the NFL, because that was on their side of town. You got Jim Jones and them, you know, before they came up and everything, but down in their crew, they had Cash Money Brothers
McGruff
down that way, around 115th Street, around Foster Projects and all stuff like that. You had Best Out, you had All-Star, 40 Wolves, you had Slick in the Family, 12th Street Posse, you know, you had the X-Men, you understand? Even when it came to the Rucker and they had the basketball thing, they tried, the music industry tried to connect with the streets. That's how Jay-Z got with Juan. That's how Jay-Z them got with Juan them, you know, because Juan them was doing their shit in the streets and they had a basketball team in the Rucker. You know, this is a history lesson. Harlem was.
But trust me, you ain't the first person to say that, Keisha. A lot of people say they're gonna come for Gene too because he was there. Salute to Gene, man. I had an interview with Gene. You know what I'm saying? Y'all go check it out. Mac Mean, Gene Dill.
Yo, it was the place to fucking be.
Him, Mecca Audio, and Fat Man Scoop. God bless the dead. Fat Man Scoop passed away.
You understand? We in the streets having fun. You know what I'm saying? We Tuesday night we was at the rinks. After the rink, we back at Willie's. Out front of Willie's.
The rink was
Wednesday night, we at the Apollo. After we finish the Apollo, we may go down to Puff was giving a party at the Red Zone, or we was going over to Willie's spot.
Club assholes.
Willie had a little club right there, but we was back right there, 145th and 8th Avenue at Willie Burgers. Thursday night, we was at the Cotton Club. You had Mike Epps,
125th Street,
Talent, all those people like that, you know, at the fucking Cotton Club for comedy night and dancing and everything like that. You know, after dancing shit like the comedy night. Thursday, Friday, if Sparkles, fucking the world famous Blue Peter Shoe, Reggie Wells, one of them ones giving a party Friday or Saturday, stuff like that. Sunday, we was at Envy's or the China Club.
I remember the China Club and all that. All right, I'm about to get up out of here, man. There's a lot of people outside. It's going down. I'm gonna play the last. I'm gonna play the last bit of Trump's speech. You know what I'm saying, and then we're gonna get up out of here.
Important election in the history of our country. And here are the facts. My opponent, Kamala Harris, is the most incompetent and far left nominee ever to run for president. You know, she's much further left than crazy Bernie Sanders. You know that. She wants to open borders. She took the most secure border in U.S. history and turned it into the worst border in the history of the world. Remember, she
Salute, Michael. Appreciate you here, man.
was appointed border czar.
I like people that move the chat, you know what I mean? Because we don't be looking for yes men. We hate people that just say yes, yes, yes. Like people that can actually think.
She says she wasn't now after
salute to you.
3 years, but she was. But whether she was or not, she was in charge of the border. And the other day I saw her get up and say, we will do this, we will do that. We're going to. Why didn't they do it 4 years ago? Why didn't they do it? The damage is so bad and so it's been done. She let in 21 million illegal aliens from all over the world, from prisons and jails and mental institutions and insane asylums, and they're terrorists at record levels, at levels we've never.
Vote Trump, y'all already know what to do. You know what I'm saying? Mac Mean, I got to get up out of here, man. I got people to do things to see. You feel me? 1 for Trump, 2 for Harris. Ray Day in the building, man. Salute, man. I'm about to get up out of here, though, man. I get with y'all on the come around. You understand what I'm saying? Subscribe to the channel. It's free on the way out the door. And Mac Man, true story.